did with the Soviets on their own tanks. Fucking do it, man.
Soviets strapped horses to their tanks?
No, they would put their own. There was like the joke of like a Russian tank would be going, and then they have all the infantry right on it, and then that was its armor.
Dark.
It
But
is.
yeah, I guess end of discussion. What do we conclude? That while mounted on your steed, you can make any spell you cast that targets only you. Also target your steed. Are we going with the wish conundrum, or are we sticking with my interpretation of it?
Yours is
Makes
fine.
sense.
Right?
Because it
Like,
expands like self-limit spells to essentially a targetable spell rather than self.
I just want to run a fair game where we are democratic about this and we are understanding why I make certain rulings.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense because even if you don't go to the extreme of wish, there's a lot of stuff you can do even with basic
Yeah.
self-targeting cantrips
Like,
and other things.
for example,
that get
on that vein, last time I ran Strahd, I had a player who used Flame Blade or something like that, the one where you summon a sword
green
made of
flame
fire.
blade. Oh,
Flame
not green
tongue?
blade.
Not Flame Tongue. That's enchanting weapon. The one where you summon a sword. You conjure a sword out of. That's what the spell does. And he was a sorcerer.
Yeah.
And what I did is I allowed him to twin it. So he had two swords.
There's also this really stupid edge case that I find
Flame
funny.
blade.
It doesn't work at all, but it's one of those stupid raw things.
Yes, Cone of Cold.
It's because 5e has a bunch of edge cases where they don't use the same language for spells.
I'm going Misty Vision then, guys. Not Armor of Shadows.
Misty Vision is so much fun. You're going to enjoy Misty Visions.
Yeah. So, like, and then following that case, like, after I allowed him to twin the swords, that kind of form opened, and then it led to me allowing him to twin Fireball. Which was okay. It was fine for the one campaign. We had our share of fun and giggles. It made my encounters nullified. Absolutely cut through them like a knife through butter. But I learned my lesson, and I'm very careful now with opening those kind of cans of worms, and yeah. But anyway, I think we spent enough time dilly-dallying and discussing stuff. I think we're good to go and dive into this. Maybe Mac will join us later, maybe not. If he doesn't, I'll give inspiration to whoever can like make a session summary or some shit for him, from your character's perspective, preferably. Unless your character gains some outer-worldly insight from a being that just sits there watching it rolling dice. But that being said, we pick up from where we last left off. The smell of spent torches is swept on the cold wind. The morning winds of Krashk are cold as the people return to their homes. The people's spirits are resolute following the harrowing events that unfolded up in the Abbey of St. Markovia. The mob put away their pitchforks. Villagers began tending to the wounded among them. Some suffered injuries after confronting the abbot's deranged Mongol folk. Some require respite from the horrors as they have witnessed them. But thanks to your actions, no fatalities were suffered on that fateful dawn. As for the abbey, well, its edifice now lies in ruin. With no one to keep the Bellevues at bay, the abbey grounds have been pillaged and overrun by insane, starving mutants. The abbot, fearing his work can no longer continue in Krashk, fled from the abbey, taking Basilica, his magnum opus, with him. People of Krashk can rest easy knowing that their families and their graves no longer will be desecrated, and that their dead will no longer be used in the abbot's twisted experiments. Faced with defeat, the celestial abbot reflected upon your words, and saw in you a glimmer of hope for Barovia. Thus, he surrendered a holy relic in your hands, a a sun-shaped pendant with a red gem at its center. Lily of magic origin, but dormant and waiting to be reawakened. Rumors of her deeds spread quickly throughout the village. People talk of heroes vanquishing a horrid, antlered abomination as tall as 3 men. Others speak of a pale devil with wings black as night and a mace of flame. These tales span an equal measure of awe and terror, stirring the hearts of Kreshk's people. In the end, the village's burgomaster, Lord Dmitry Kreshkov, has recognized your efforts, acting as the avant-garde of the whole endeavor. He remains carefully skeptical of you, the adventuring type from beyond the mists, after all, cannot be fully trusted, but grants you permission to stay and rest within Kreshk's walls for as long as you continue to comply with the people's interests. Once the bodies of their dead are retrieved from the abbey, Lord Dmitry will be faced with a new opportunity to restore the once holy convent to its former glory. What fate awaits the mongrel folk who stay within the abbey's walls remains to be seen. It is a new dawn in gloomy Barovia. What do you wish to do going forward? Last we left off, I believe through RP chat, we were in the Burgermeister's domicile talking to him.
Just so I'm clear, there's not like it's a calm morning. No one's like getting their torches ready to like purge the mutants.
That's correct.
Like in the morning, right? Okay.
I think the people have had their fair share of terror and excitement for one morning. So it's starting to calm down as people just tend to be wounded and harrowed.
Jeb was just gonna do what he does and like talk about Burgermeister. I'm not sure you understand the glory that the Moonglow Mercantile Group has just bestowed upon Kreshk. Not only have we rid your town of the shadow of the abbot, we have granted you free, cheap labor to help you grow into an even safer thing. While yes, some trading will be done, you can become a beacon and reintegrate the previous one of the older families in town and become a force to be reckoned with in all of Barovia. While yes, the abbey is in shambles and there are mongrel folk, this is but the first step towards you becoming the next Vallaki. You are very welcome. I am very excited for your next few days. Jeb is 60% honest about this. He understands it's a shit sandwich of work he has to do, but he also sees...
As you're chewing the shit sandwich, you seem to have been swallowing it all the while, believing your every word, kind of hanging on it, squinting through gritted teeth at the migraine, the head pain causes injuries. You had him until you said that he is on the verge of making Kreshk just like Vallaki, to which he shook his head. I fear I do not wish for that, but you are right. Belleviews were human once, perhaps to some degree they can be human again. A good leader should see the opportunities that present themselves before him. With the abbot gone, perhaps they can be of use to us.
Of course.
Words are cut short as he's working through his concussion. Anna looks to him with a look of worry, and then towards you all and says, "My husband needs his fair share of rest. We thank you for everything you've done. Feel free to help yourselves to do anything from the pantry should you be hungering and wishing to restore your strength. But I ask that you leave Dmitry to his bed rest for now."
At a glance, their food looks meager, as like the rest of the town, right? He doesn't have fancy Burgermeister like. He doesn't have a walk
While
level
not
snack.
as well endowed rich as the burgomaster of Valaki and Lady Watchter, there is a fair share of meat and vegetables that's being grown here in the village. Might not be like top tier, but it is not prison scraps either.
He'll just talk to the whoever the cook is and ask for his finest meals, like the fanciest rations he can give us for like
Return to speak
on
to
the
the
road
cook
food.
and find there's no servant. How barbaric.
Ugh.
You must
Yeah,
help
it's
yourself.
Food poisoning.
Come on, let's let Dimitri rest. After all, he fought well.
He didn't
Oh,
fight at all. He drew his sword and get bonked in the head.
Hey,
Oh, yes.
I stabbed Dimitri. None of you saw
An
that.
elder veteran with 9 HP, I bonk him with a rogue sneak attack for
I
like
bonked him with perfect technique.
double his
though.
HP non-lethal. Okay, VM? Yeah, okay.
I fought children and old men very well.
What's your opinion on like DMs who were like, oh, I go for a non-lethal hit, and then you hit him for like double HP, and they're like, you kill him.
It's kind of bullshit.
No,
Right?
no. I mean, you control your force a little bit.
It
But the
depends.
dice.
It depends within reason, though. Like I've seen it both ways. Like if you want to say he was that frail, where
No,
like
I
he
don't. I
probably-
really don't. I'm just curious if I made
I-
the right,
I don't-
right call.
I don't mind if it's the story you want to tell that I accidentally.
I
like-
don't. I really don't want it to be like, yeah, I had a plan. It was a solid plan. It was a really good plan, and then I killed a man.
He might have
Yeah,
like knocked his head on the way down to the ground. You know, things happen.
Yeah, it's never a fun thing when you're punishing players for rolling well.
It's on the same vein of like two party members like, haha, we're gonna like play fight, and I'm gonna go for like a non-lethal hit, obviously, while we're training, and like you end up decapitating your party mate while training. It's like, it's not a good story. It's funny. It's not a good story though.
Well, as much as I would like to stay here a little bit and try and help out, I think we have business that we need to deal with in Valaki
Yes.
by what? End of this evening, isn't it?
Yes. I have to visit the Burgermeister's house there, where Isaac is going to have words with me. Please stay close. I worry about his temper. I worry that my plan has worked too well, and the seething emotions I've implanted beneath the surface are coming to a boil. I worry about that hand.
Yeah. Well, we should probably get moving then. Trying to remember, it's like an hour or two back to Valaki, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about that time.
Anna turns to you as you leave past the door's threshold. If you're looking for your compatriot, I saw your Lady Irina Kolyana by the shrine earlier this hour. She seemed to have gotten a little bit stressed over this situation and needed a little bit of quiet. You'll find her there.
Do you have any stables where we might take a mule as
Irina.
payment for our
Sorry, what? Any stables where we can keep?
he's essentially trying to finagle a mule to replace the mule that got killed on the road as payment to help the town.
We don't really
Don't need
deal in
that.
horses as the Burgomaster, but we do have our fair share of cattle we can spare. As good as
We'll
a
be
piece of
fine.
burden as any.
We'll be fine. We've got.
You don't want a
solution
bull
to
leading your
that.
cart? Nice ox.
I mean, we have our friend's mount here. Pointed a
Yeah,
It's a little
he's
bit.
strong enough.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Oh, it is capable of summoning a mount at some point. We'll do that later, though. It's a little bit scary.
It's beautiful. No, I don't see the scary part on it.
You have an odd sense of taste to most.
The Burgomaster is too concussed to think about it too hard without getting migraine, and Anna Kreshkov was not up there on the summoned to witness the horror of the thing which you speak of. Therefore, no correlation is made.
Well, let's go talk to Irina. That pool was dangerous last time.
Yeah, hopefully, with time, the place can heal a little bit too. But isn't it your
And
friend Christoph over there as well? Where's he at?
I've dealt with Christoph a few hours back, completed trades, and he took a walk about town. I would imagine that if he was in your traveling party, perhaps they're together.
I would hope so.
Yes. Well, let's go that way, and Nadia, maybe we'll
Dmitry Kreshkov
see.
does not
Maybe
have
your
Scrying.
friends have come back. Maybe your friends will come back to that pool. And Sanderson would start making his way out.
Cool.
Thank you for your hospitality. As he tries to just not put any sarcasm on that last word.
Hope you get
His
better
eyes
soon.
very briefly land upon the palm of your sword as he squints and goes, "Ugh." Just leans back in the pillow. You're a little shit, you know that?
I'll just give a slight little, head tilt gesture to Anna as I'm trying to pick up the last bit of bread and maybe some cheese off the table, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna stuff
Like
some
a
into
day's
Jeb's
rations
pocket.
worth, yeah.
Yeah,
Lamb chops and whatnot.
I'm
Good
gonna
food. I'm hungry.
put my pockets in, but I'm gonna stuff them in Jeb's pockets too
Yeah.
as he's walking out.
His speed drops by 5.
He's walking on his knees. Oh god!
Oh, the agony!
Starts walking at 2 feet per second, Skyrim style. Can't fast travel.
Yeah.
So
Come now.
let's collect our compatriots. We have a busy day, and I worry that it will not be as bloodless as last night.
Yeah.
Right, without any other dilly-dallying, are we as a party agreeing to go toward the shrine?
Yes.
Yep.
Sure thing. Just loading the map. For you, Jeb, since you have not been here, we are over yonder currently on the map. Heading northward down the road. Takes you a few minutes, 10-15 minutes to walk through the village toward the northern shrine and upon the rain. We know if you have issues with vision, you shouldn't, but just in case.
See just fine.
Over yonder,
Yep.
it's daylight, so you should have nothing blocking your sight. Indeed, upon your arrival to the pond-side shrine, in the distance you can see Irina is seated within an old gazebo. She's joined by a man, by the looks of it, Christoph. The two admire what looks to be a wooden statue at the gazebo's center. The statue looks like that of a mournful, bare-chested man, its paint chipped away and faded, with arms outstretched as though awaiting to be embraced. I believe I have a picture from last time of this place. It's quite serene. Much shrine there it is.
It's nice.
Yes.
As pleasant as Barovia can be.
View is a little bit battered, but been around for a while apparently.
Indeed, it looks aged.
Is all of the water in the pool there from tainted or whatever from Strahd when he
It's
struck
not
it with
tainted.
light?
Even under these gloomy skies, the water seems to shimmer as if under sunlight. It's crystal clear and blue.
Oh, good.
Whatever effect happened to it last time, it seems to have quickly healed from it.
Your friends might be here.
I'm gonna go say hi to my friends.
Sure.
To my little water weirds.
Is everybody gonna follow Nadia toward the shoreline?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if party's going there, he'll follow.
Cool.
Friends
Even
will
under
probably
gloomy skies, the water surface shimmers as if kissed by sunlight. The water ripples as motes of ice blue water skip playfully upon the pond surface. These creatures morph, taking on beautiful translucent forms like eels composed entirely of water. Ever mischievous, the creatures splash jets of water at anyone within reach. Bubbly laughter can be heard emanating from them. Each time they dive and fully immerse into the pond, they meld with it, only to suddenly leap once more. You see a shirtless man with a balding head and a frizzled beard. He's seen fetching water into buckets and loading them into a small cart.
I'll kind of approach and not yell, just ask if he could, use any help or anything, and anything.
I sure appreciate it. I only ask that before you drink from the pool, if you are seeking to quench your thirst, toss a copper coin into it. It's a small price to pay.
Oh, of course, I definitely would. But is this just like normal drinking water for them here, like just to get from the pool?
Seems like
Or
they're not doing anything in efforts to purify it. Perhaps boil it just to cleanse it from anything that's in the soil. But the water itself, as you would have known from previous experience, has special properties, restorative properties. It's one of Kreshk's many vices.
Well, I hope any of the townspeople that were, maimed or anything during the Abbey can be, healed a
That's
little
the
bit
very
quicker.
reason why I'm here. I'm collecting some buckets for the poor and misfortunate souls who still are shaken from the experience. A few scrapes here and there is nothing for these waters, as the sprites say, to heal, to unbreak.
Well, I'm glad we can, restore a little bit of hope and that the townspeople can once again drink from this place. And then I'll just start, kind of putting in his jugs or anything.
As you dip your clay jug into water, you can see several sprites leap out of the water and just playfully spew jets of water into your face as you squint one eye to avoid it. But, games for them. The laughter like children, a sweet sound you haven't heard in perhaps some time. As you continue to help, you see a column of water rise and take the form of a large serpentine water weird. A face takes shapes, wise and gentle. Bubbles expand and rise as its form continues to manifest, and it then speaks in a language flowing and full of subtleties of meaning. Its voice like the rush of a very minute waterfall. Greetings once more.
I didn't forget about you, Tea Leaf. I'm glad you're safe, though. From our last visit, it seemed like the Lord of the Land.
A rather large column of water shifts to one side, revealing several other smaller motes of water. Among them, you indeed see a one stained, gentle, pleasant color of amber and brown with a little tea leaf within that shimmers. Like a mother guiding its child, the larger of the most water extends out a hand to kind of bring it forward towards you. Tea leaf.
If he's offering it, then I'll take it.
Take it.
Give me that goo. empty. I will put that in my flask.
Tealeaf happily resorts to the small confined space, but seems thoroughly content. Several other smaller water motes rise around the large elemental, each taking a different shape. Some assume the form of koi fish swimming through the air, levitating a few feet above the pond surface. Others assume the form of slithering eels, and some lethargically float about like translucent jellyfish. All
Wait.
curiously hover. Yep.
I was gonna say, tea leaf is in my flask, or he was just giving a leaf. Like, do I physically have him in my flask?
Physically went into your flask. You offered him a container, and he physically went into it out of the pond and into the flask.
He won't die, will he?
Safe. Unbroken. In waters, says the larger shrine keeper. Keep hydrated. Keep happy. We'll live. We'll be safe. Water is everywhere. In ground, in sky. Always safe. All the while, tea leaf is just kind of bubbling happily in your cup, just simmering slightly. You can feel the cup, or whatever container he is in the canteen, warm up steadily. A comfortable, hot coffee temperature.
Cool. Well, with the abbot removed, hopefully your waters will remain pure, and no other harm will ever come to, your pond again. Oh wait, hold on. I'll read in a sec. And
No, I open it. Opens on your end. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, that's fine. I can look at it. But I do have a question. Have you ever? I'm sure you've noticed the shrine over there, with the barrel-chested man with his arms stretched out. Have you ever seen in your time here anything going with that statue? Like, would the water weird ever?
Are you
would there
asking
be a
the man
sword blade?
currently working the buckets, who introduced himself as Oleg, or are you asking the shrine keeper?
The shrine keeper.
On is old. On was here before man. On has seen many things. The shrine is broken, incomplete, waiting for sunlight.
Okay.
Shown before, and now statue within waits for it to shine again.
Of course. Well, hopefully we can make that happen soon.
Just kind of.
But deep.
From
I was gonna
previous
say-
RP, you remember I kind of explained that water weirds
Yeah.
kind of exist on a different plane of thought. Very
Yeah.
ancient, very down to earth.
Did they say anything if they had anything in their water? Like, do they guard anything?
From what you've heard from lore around town, and from what you've gathered, you would know that the pond was blessed by Saint Markovia a long time ago, back when she lived about 300 years ago. What do
Yeah.
you mean by in the water?
Like, I know it might be like, clear and everything, but like, would I be able to like physically like kind of see?
You can see
the
to
bottom?
the bottom.
Oh, okay. Is there like anything that I think they might be like guarding, or is there anything that?
Not much guarding, but there are
stand
like
out?
coins and small trinkets that the townspeople gift to the waters and thanks.
Right. Okay.
But mostly Barovian coins and such.
Yeah, I'll leave that.
It's quite a shallow pond too, not someplace you would be able to hide something if you were to hide it.
I would want to ask them if they're happy being here. Like, are you happy being here in this pond, being its guardian, giving these waters its restorative properties to this townfolk, or do you want to expand?
Its purpose. It's its existence. You would have heard about rather more mischievous water weirds, even evil ones, that when their environment gets corrupted or something's wrong with the waters or somebody takes advantage of the waters, the water weirds themselves change from its behavior, its gentle attitude and whatnot. It seems rather content and happy with the blessing and place and the people's attitude toward it. And you can tell by the gardens nearby and the trees and the shrine that the people work to upkeep the nature of this place. Keep them happy. What's the rest of the party doing?
Jeb is just looking confused and a bit apprehensive at Nadia talking to this monster from the water.
I'm sure even Jeb would see that difference between the common werewolf and the abominations you've encountered so far, and a rather gentle elemental.
It's not that it's just like weird. Like even the water is not as it seems, or less than it being malignant. Just more like, oh, well, this is just doesn't stop.
Come outside more often and touch some grass. Experience the world.
Uncut grass, horrible.
D&D, you cut your grass. This is why I want you guys to say things out loud, not just type it in chat. As you give the command for Blossom to put her roots in the pond, thinking that, plant creature needs some water. For the first time in a long time, Blossom refuses. In fact, she stays a good distance away, like 20-30 feet away from the pond's edge, and takes your command as an insult. Blights, the undead, thrive from fester and rot and disease. This place, you can feel, is not right for it. It works to cleanse it away, kill it. So it steers clear.
Okay.
Slowly, agonizingly, the plant creature even utters a word. Misfortunate. And then just kind of raises two hands to make two antlers.
Okay. Well, hearing Blossom, denial, I'll approach to the pond and drink some for myself because I feel the roots are deep inside me. So, I don't know, see if it makes me feel better.
Well, the water is cool and sates your thirst. You do feel its restorative powers ease some of the pain, but the corruption remains. Thus, a restoration is not enough to cure what ails you.
Well,
Lightness, perhaps. I have a list here. Just kind of skipped over it. The water's restorative power is known to heal minor wounds, cure disease and afflictions, blindness, deafness, paralysis, and cleanse poison from one's body. But curses are a whole other deal.
I never imagined it will kill me. But Blossom refusal of drinking water, it could be a key on how to kill the tree we found in Jester Hill. I'm telling to Samson, to Jeb that is listening.
An interesting idea.
What was in Jester Hill?
A tree that consumes, I think, blood. It was connected to an altar in which people were being sacrificed by druids on.
So there are benevolent creatures in the water, and the trees drink the blood of... This place is worse than it seems with every passing moment.
Yeah, it has its moments.
Well, it's all how we make the best of them. But yeah, I can't say it's great.
Well, if
What was-
nothing else, we've given a small beacon of light to this. Then he grimaces for a moment and town.
What? You don't think this is a town? This is not a bad-sized town. Been to smaller.
Sorry, Samson. I didn't want to interrupt you. I start watching my hand. That's it. Maybe we can. Can we buy some of your pots with water? Sorry, I have to the old.
Coin is reserved for the pond as tribute, as tradition, but we the people of Gresh do not trade in it. If you have something to offer, I would gladly part with one of my pots. The water is free, restorative, and restoring for you to take.
Do you think 1 silver will be enough for one?
Again, the people of Gresh don't deal with coins, they prefer trade.
Oh,
Coin is
yes,
reserved for the pawn as a measure of tribute, as is Barovian tradition.
yeah.
Oh, I mean,
I
sort of.
I didn't
traditionally,
catch
yeah.
that. Yeah, I have this hammer, and well, I'll depart with the hammer if you accept.
One man's junk is another one's treasure. I thank ye. You can go ahead and grab one of the, ewer-sized ones, about yay high, made of clay.
Okay, perfect.
A hammer for a pot. I would say that's an equal trade. If you were to price it, I bet it's absolutely equal. Right, Jeb?
Yeah.
Oh,
How do you know who's better without knowing who has more coins? Disgusting.
You don't need coins to know who's better.
Well, I know I'm better, but I just don't have an objective measure of it.
Are you better?
Quick question to you guys,
I'd prove
because
it.
I'm kind of judging player position by where you place yourself on the map. Are you guys yelling at the party from like 30 feet away, or within the gazebo, or like are you by the?
I'm by the gazebo, snidely, just like small talking with Samson as this is happening over here because he's gonna
Yeah,
interact.
I
Are
would have,
you
would have
eavesdropping?
mentioned
I wouldn't be hearing that. I was just like joking around and shuddering at the concept.
Samson? Absolutely, Samson is eavesdropping on those two.
Okay.
Samson's eavesdropping at the Abbey with his like 35 passive.
So actually, my passive, because I have advantage for wisdom perception on hearing. That means my passive should actually not be +5, but +10, because I have dealer and that. So my
Senses.
passive perception is 27.
Jesus Christ.
It's a curse, right? Right?
Oh yeah.
Well, I would say then, without having you roll, because what's the point? If you were eavesdropping this entire time, the conversation has grown a little bit quieter, keeping it a little bit private. You would have caught the last bit of it. Irina and Christoph are talking, and you can overhear the conversation from where you stand. Irina says, "It's hard to explain, but it's been getting worse. This place calls out to me like echoes of a memory not my own. It feels as if my soul is tethered to events centuries before. When I reach to grasp at those phantoms, they vanish." To which Christoph replies, That sounds like a lonely existence, my dear. But perhaps that is the fate of all great and precious things, to be alone. I hope one day you'll find that which you seek and it makes you complete. I hope that day comes soon. From where you stand, you can see Christoph pats her in his hand as he continues to empathize with her. The two linger under the gazebo shade a moment longer before catching sight of you eavesdropping. You can see Irina.
I'm sitting there with a stone in my hand. It's
You're
clear that I
within
can
20
hear.
feet.
Oh, it's clear that I can hear, but I'm
Sure.
looking the other way, kind of sitting there going, I'm waiting for you to finish your conversation.
If you were observant enough, you can see Irina blush. She slips her hand from beneath Kristoff's as the man turns to you and greets you with a smile. Friends, I'm glad to see you all in one piece.
It was a harrowing battle, but through our, especially my prowess, we're better off than the others.
Yes, Jeb here has a way with words.
Right. Well, humble is a virtue, but a grim thing. What happened? So I heard. I wasn't there to witness it, and I prefer it that way, frankly. I myself concluded my business here, so I'm more than ready to depart and rejoin my comforts in Vallaki. If you wouldn't mind, I would be happy to depart as soon as you're able.
Yes, we shall depart shortly. Arena, has your evening at least been uneventful?
I wouldn't say that. I had some time to reflect. I've been confused and had to find a place to think, and this place has given me some solace. Part of me doesn't want to leave, but I understand that we must keep going.
If you need a moment, take it. We'll have to deal with the man who calls himself your brother when we return, and I suspect it will be another harrowing.
Irina just looks even
endeavor.
more like she doesn't want to leave. Sometimes I wonder if I just gave up and stayed, away from us all.
Could you do that? Could you just give up? Or would you?
I mean, she
struggle to
seriously
accept
considers
that?
it.
Struggle to rest, knowing that you gave up.
Suppose not. Right. We do what we must. I'm ready to go when you are. I had my moment of solace, and well, now it's over, so no point in dilly-dallying and delaying the inevitable.
Before we depart, I'm gonna grab the pot I just bought, fill it with water. I'm gonna use the genie vessel and I'm gonna teleport inside it with it.
You're gonna put the item inside the genie vessel?
Yes, but I have to be inside with it. So
Sure. For just a moment, however it is you venture into your genie vessel, for just a moment you see Aya vanish, leaving behind nothing but her medallion onto the ground. Starting sight.
Yeah.
So, actually, if that happened,
As this is happening, Jeb is just gonna keep staring at Arena to make sure she didn't stub her toe or get a bruise by accident in the evening. Knowing Isaac's gonna scrutinize the shit out of her when we get back to Vallaki. She's not any worse for the wear, right? She didn't
Aside from
get
travel
any...
wear, she doesn't look bruised or
Perfect.
scathed or anything.
Didn't know if she got into it with one of the more boisterous riders from the night before. So that's good.
I think she left off those that she confronted Warstoff and herself on
Perfect.
the road of those wolves. So overall, unscraped. Luckily for you, very wise decision not to bring her up to the abbey. She stayed behind.
Samson would then walk over to the statue and look, because you had said it had its arms out as if it was
palms up, about chest height,
palms up.
as if it's awaiting an embrace or some sort. ignore the map. It's the only one I could find of a wooden statue.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so it's
It's chest height, palms up like so.
okay.
You asked before if it looks like it was holding something before, and I said certainly could be.
It could be.
Absolutely not out of the question. Yes.
Well,
Sort of in a twinned, mirrored,
Yeah.
cupped kind of motion, awaiting
Yeah.
for one or two objects.
Samson would put his hands on the statue's hands. Think for a second, trying to think about kind of how big it would be, but in doing so, he will put his hands kind of grabbing both of the statue's hands.
Though the outdoors are cold and freezing in snow, the palms are warm to the touch. For a brief moment, they even feel a little bit human, but then sensations return to reality and it passes. The man remains mournful, unmotioned. There's some measure of comfort to it if you like hugging statues, I suppose. Embracing them.
Well,
It
and then
doesn't seem like the hand is shaped in a way to accept another
yeah.
hand, more to hold an object. One or
Yeah.
two.
It looks like one of those poses that, I mean, he's not on his knees, but like as if someone was to gift like a sword or something, you know, to like a king.
Yeah. Or perhaps some large bowl or gem. Well, the statue was warm to the touch. Surprised me. But
Maybe. Have you checked if it has magic properties or something?
no. Suppose I could do that. Do we want to spend a little bit of time here while I do that? Let people enjoy the lake for a little while longer? Or should we expedite this?
It is one of the more pleasant places in town. It's before noon, right?
It's morning.
Oh yeah. We
Okay.
7 bells.
the
Though
the
bell
day's
doesn't
young.
toll.
Well,
The day's young.
Well,
We have time before we
and
can.
Samson would stand there and ritual cast detect
Sure.
magic.
As you take solace in the pond, you ritual cast it, you can detect enchantment aura coming from the statue. Inert, very weak, awaiting, but there. You sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. The magic coming from the statue is so muted by the overwhelming presence of other magical artifacts throughout, those upon your companions and such, but it's there. There's magic, the school of magic, spell, cantrip, barrier. Yeah, for sake of it, we can say there's some magic to it. Yeah, I'm missing it.
Yeah.
Enchantment.
Well, there's some magic in it, but seems inactive. Almost as if it's waiting for something to activate it. I imagine whatever it's looking to hold is its power source.
Hold on. I gotta go through my notes real fast, because... I feel like we have the answer for this.
Good.
You feel like sharing?
What's Irina's sword name? Does she have his name for it?
Dawnbringer. Familiarly.
Maybe it's that.
You think? Irina will unsheath her sword carefully, slowly, and place it kind of hilt in one hand and blade in the other. It looks like the handle fits awkwardly in one hand. She then takes the sword and flips it around, and it fits perfectly in the other hand. Only the handle, up to the pommel. The other hand doesn't seem to like touch bottom of hand. It doesn't seem to perfectly fit the blade. It doesn't seem to fit the hilt in that hand.
Fuck.
Nothing else really happens as she holds her breath in anticipation. Well, I mean, there's that.
Well, sometimes I get these big brain moments and they don't always work out.
You're onto something. It does seem to hold the handle.
You
sword.
said your sword was an heirloom.
Yeah.
Are there others like it? Was it based off of anything?
I suppose it's just during close to me. It's plain steel. Nothing too special about it.
Yeah.
It's been in the Kolyanovich family for generations. It's about all I know about it. My father gifted it to me when I completed my sword training, but it's not magical or anything like that.
What about, like,
some
any-
measure of magic in my hands? But
I assume running my detect magic across the sword confirms no
it's
magic.
mundane.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe so. We didn't silver enchant it. I don't think so.
I thought it was silvered by default.
Let me check. You might be correct there, but that wouldn't be the magic, so it comes up mundane either way. The Dawnbringer sword
it's silvered.
is silvered, yes. But it's not
Silvered, yeah.
magical in nature.
Yeah.
Irene, was there ever any other swords in your family that you would know about through history? Or other than that may have been handed down your family lineage?
I mean, the Vistani possess most magical items, and other forbidden lore is out of my family's reach. I don't believe. I wouldn't know. This moment, you're reminded that she's adopted too, so she wouldn't know much
Yeah.
about the family's history, right?
Right,
Yeah,
I didn't know if anything was like ever.
She doesn't even
said.
she can't even recall like past her like early teenagehood. So going.
Okay.
Well, at the very least, we now know that we're looking for a sword that has the same handle as yours.
Perhaps
Oh.
it was something that belonged to the Great Markovia, Saint Markovia.
Perhaps it's within reason.
Perhaps.
Makes sense to me. Or another
Or-
saint, or I don't know. We're grasping
Or
at
a
straws
member
here.
of your family.
Well, we got a lot on our plate right now, and so I'm
Yes.
sure something will come up later. But
I mean,
keep an eye out.
what are we hoping for, really? This shrine, well,
Aye.
it's a solemn place. I don't quite understand what we're hoping for here.
I don't
Does
fully
Tetch come
know
alive and
myself.
strike at the sky and part the clouds and save all of Barovia all of a sudden? I don't think.
I was curious about what it would take to activate the magic within the statue. It's barely there.
Perhaps we're just
just
not offering
effective.
the right things?
Perhaps. Well, I suppose we should probably get going relatively soon if we don't want to. If we want to have any time ahead of the festival.
Sure. You see Arena kind of
Lucky?
turn toward the statue and linger at the face a little longer. It's quite handsome. There's something very familiar about him. I can't explain it. It's why I keep coming back here to this place. It's as if I know this man. And yet I don't. It's very strange. I can't help but shake the feeling as if such a man not hold a killing blade.
I have a somewhat dumb question. He's not the statue's not any of the figures we've met from Tome of Strahd, right?
Now that you're thinking about it, occurs to you that this looks like a very... If Sergei Vonzarovich was given 30 or 40 more years of his life, a very elderly version of that. Does anybody in the party have any questions about who Sergei von Zarovich is? Guess I'm not solo
Yeah,
playing with Samson.
Jeb would ask who that would be if it's brought up, having not been through the Tome of Strahd once yet.
Yeah. Well, can't be older than that, but I suppose he could have lived that long.
Who?
It's statue Sergei von Zarovich,
Christopher's looks at it, it's
Strahrd's
like,
brother.
can't be. Didn't he die young or something? Why would the people have a statue of him as an elder?
I don't know.
Oh, ugly and shriveled up as he is. You'd think they wanted to capture him in his youth, in his prime.
Well,
People are odd.
who's to say that the young are prime?
Some people live and die and chase for eternal youth.
Well,
Some people would do anything for it.
yes,
I just find it all strange.
agreed. But, well, I suppose we should probably head out.
No, hold on one moment, says Christoph. Just a quick question, if you may entertain my curiosity. What is your opinion about the matter? I don't want to just throw something into the wind. Would you not give anything for eternal youth? Would you not pay an eternal price?
Jeb would immediately
No.
say. Jeb would say yes.
No.
Why not?
I would not wish for eternal youth.
Is it not the human condition to live and waste away and then die and then never exist again?
Well, yes. But if there's no end, then what's the point?
I don't know about you, Samson, but I will die before my siblings would even consider me an adult. I would give anything to not be seen as a child by my family.
For what matters,
Age
my dear boy, I think
not
of you as an
make you.
adult and a fine gentleman at that.
Yes, age is hardly the defining characteristic of a child. I suppose you have some. childish
We're getting
tendencies
into the
having
child
not-
territory again, aren't we? Age is not really defining. We're not treading dangerous waters again, aren't we? Well, yeah, I'm sorry.
I suppose you have some of the defining characteristics of a child, a lack of experience of the world, but you'll learn as you travel.
You're sort of like an
There's
anime
just-
character. Somebody will look at you, think you're a child, but really you're like 200 years old. What do they know?
There is just far too much to do, and I know that my life will end far before I do even a fraction of what must be done or what I know I can do. Knowing my mortality and knowing the lifeline of my family, I know that, well, I would give nearly anything to continue.
Oh, that's
understand.
awfully vague, my boy. You say anything. What would you give for eternal life? Just save my curiosity. Do so.
I would risk the lives of all of my lessers and perhaps even some of my betters.
Well then, I certainly feel much more comfortable traveling with you. He chuckles awkwardly.
If it's any consolation, Christoph, I do not know you well enough to know if you are my lesser or my better, so...
Oh, how would
Would
have
not
you
even
know
be-
I'm by far your better. Shall we go?
Just like a respectful smirk, like rich people, like...
This is
shitting
gonna
on each
be
other.
like a fight between you and me for like the next half an hour if we delve into this. You will find my ego far exceeds yours.
Oh, and then he would just like
Yeah.
go into his like his breeding and blah blah. As Samson's probably figuring
And
out
everybody's
the
like watching,
statue.
like, is this flirting? Alright. But yeah, if you guys are, done your attempts and wish to move on, we can. You can always return here at a later time. I'm not gonna be an asshole about it. Be like, and then the Mongols came and chewed everything. Yeah.
I think I'm good with everything.
Yeah, maybe the medallion you find something.
Uh,
Yeah.
perhaps. But it's not a sword. It's because the other hand looks like it's looking for the sword blade.
We established that it's not. We established that
Oh,
one
it's
hand
not.
accepts a handle, but neither hand holds a blade.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they say like he doesn't
Well-
seem like a guy who will use that.
Let's.
That's just Arena's
let's
opinion.
Try.
One is fact and one is
Yeah.
Arena's opinion. The fact is, one hand holds perfectly in
The
its grasp a blade.
Okay, so it's not hand holding the handle and which would put the blade into the other hand.
Correct,
kind of
but
holding
it's
it.
still palm up. So if there was a blade, you would think it would hold it, but not the case.
Okay. Well,
So we
I
need a bigger sword.
well. Suppose we can try that.
Smaller.
Now, why don't you put your sword back in the statue's hand? I've got one thing left to try, I think. And I would take the symbol of Raven kind.
You see
by placing
both
it in the
Irina
other
and
hand.
Kristoff's eyes go wide. Kristoff smiled a little bit. What is that? It's beautiful.
Really?
That. Steps aside to get a better look at where you're putting it.
It's an interesting trinket given to us by a broken man.
Aha. He leans in close to Jeb. Hopefully you've hacked that one, isn't he?
It was given to me, actually, and it was a man who understood the value of placating us before things continued, as it were.
I say,
but-
if I wasn't mistaken, that thing, and for a moment he kind of rummages in his signed coat pocket and gets out a monocle and kind of gets a bit looking. No, indeed, yeah, it is.
That's from the abbot. Down below the stairs. Because nobody answered the question.
He just kind of whispers a name. Luke Donna. Oh. Interesting. Be careful with that thing, my boy. You're holding history in your hands, if that's a real thing. I mean,
How much is it worth?
Oh, it's priceless, my
We're
boy.
not selling
Priceless.
it.
That thing. Frankly, it belongs in a museum, but
Okay,
It's
Indiana
yours.
Jones.
Hardly. It's not exam here, unfortunately. And so does the symbol fit in the hand? Or is
yes,
it-
as you place it, it fits perfectly in the hand, and as if molded. Just like it takes a bit of revolving to get it fitted there, but it does. And as it does so, suddenly, the statue clings it closer and brings it to heart, animated, and brings its eyes skyward. Iran just is aghast, and Kristoff steps a few steps back and is like, "Oh, that's I say." And as it does so, you can see the statue's eyes, before just wooden blank, illuminate with yellow golden light. It kind of seems to shed golden tears down its face as light begins to grow in its palm. Then the light fades away, leaving black streaks upon the wood like scorch. Slowly, the hand is offered forward, opens the palm, and you can see a very dim but active light swimming within the gem now.
I will pick up the symbol.
The holy symbol of Revankind feels sacred to the touch. It feels alive. judging. Judging you. Judging your soul. Judging your essence. While the light remains, it doesn't seem to do anything else.
Hello.
Requires attunement. By a cleric or a paladin of good alignment.
Yep. I kind of figured.
If we
Are
only
you
had
are
one
you of
those-
good alignment remains to be judged by next session, I promise.
Yeah.
I'm really counting all your actions to this point because of these items.
Yeah, I imagine.
It's one of those items that, like in D&D you have items that like require alignment, but not just require alignment, also act on your alignment. Like if you're not good, it's kind of like sass you. It's like that.
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
Well then. looks-
looks to be the real thing. It's
Yeah.
both fascinating and, one would say, concerning.
Why concerning?
Well, I mean, according to legend, it was this very thing in your hand, this artifact, one of a kind as it is. It was delivered ages ago to a paladin named Lugdana by what some believe to be a giant raven or an angel in the form of a giant raven. Really, the details are quite vague, sort of like yourself, but it was used by Lugdana as a holy symbol to, how would I put it, root out and destroy nests of evil, vampires and undead and such, until her eventual death. As I discussed before, the human condition is to die. Imagine what she could have achieved if only she had eternal youth and life. Ever since then, it has been said that the high priests of Ravenloft kept and wore the holy symbol after Lugdana's passing. It has been lost for ages, but seems to have been recovered by whoever it is that gave you this artifact, and now it's in your possession. You asked about price. My friend, this thing is beyond market. But I suppose everything has a price.
He just whispers to Samson, "We'll call that 50 gold debt to the apothecary covered then."
Sure.
You see Christopher lift abroad the idea of you just giving it away to some apothecary. Not sure if you're half joking or serious.
No, the 50 gold I borrowed from Samson. I owed Samson a debt.
I see.
Well then. Feel like I need to spend some time with this, try and figure out how it works. Convince it that I am a useful person to use it. And helpful
quite a
to its
Curious
objective.
situation we got on our hands here. I would say most humorous indeed. You wish to attune such an item, and if your confessions, it seems to lower his voice a little bit. If your confessions from earlier are correct, and you are indeed of the undead nature, perhaps it is best to keep it away from oneself if legends do true. Of course, what you wish to do with such an item is up to you. I am only giving advice in hindsight. I want to see you scorched away from the earth or something like that.
That is a fair point, Samson.
I
Would-
have faith. Salin would not allow that to happen.
Go
But
for it.
but this is not of your god, though. I know that some gods are, from my readings, anyways, are far more opinionated of the undead as others.
Should
We
be
have
fine.
need of you. We have need of you. You're not allowed to die until we leave these blasted, mist-covered lands.
I wouldn't lie if I would say I'm not curious to see what would happen if we should use it. I would kill to see such an item in action. In my short time on this plane, I've seen many things, but an artifact of this nature, that's rare.
Maybe someone should carry it. Meanwhile, Jeff, do you wish to
I shall
Uh,
carry
help
the
us?
ring.
I'd be more than happy to carry such a thing, though. I
I agree.
My,
We should share the burden.
but I was going to try and attune to it on our journey.
That is fair. My
I figure if it does give us some edge, some ability to fight back the dark, it might be useful.
Right.
Well, shall we get moving?
Statue of Therian remains. Irina caresses its cheek as before leaving. You can see the char from the cheek kind of smear on her fingers, and the moment she tears up, then checks off the feeling and joins you as you step away from the shrine.
Yep. And as I walk away from the shrine, I will go ahead and cast that on the statue itself
Neat.
to make the statue light.
Yeah. Sweet.
Because the statue's under 10 feet, right?
Yeah, it's
Not
human size.
it's human size. It's not a big one. So yeah.
It's not like Yesterhill's hill statue. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Right.
Well then. Shall we make our way to our cart and head out?
happily. Ugh.
All right.
I wave goodbye to the water guardian. Oh, and I gave him 3 gold coins.
Nice. You can see the water guardian is kind of showing the coins with each of its children, and they kind of toss it between them, play around with them. Meanwhile, the guardian waves goodbye and then slowly sinks into the pool as Oleg completes his work and begins to kind of crake his cart away from it as well. Sweet. I say, says Christopher, on your way back to the town square, have you acquired any other baubles or artifacts from your venture? You seem to be quite profitable at that.
You would think, just some dirty Barovian, coins. I haven't found anything too interesting.
I can't believe I'm hearing cringe over money.
No, I just there's nothing interesting other than the coins.
Right. Seems a little bit disappointed with that reply, but all the while his gaze keeps shifting between you and the legendary artifact in your possession. I would imagine that as you're carrying it, are you keeping it like hidden somewhere, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in a pouch, effectively, at least while we walk through town. I'll probably, once we get on the road, I'll take it out and go through trying to understand how
It is
it
a holy
works.
symbol. It fits quite well in the pouch and such. All right.
Yeah, I'll go through the process of attuning once we get in the cart and have left.
Okay.
I'll try and attune while traveling.
Aside from Samson, because it's hard to judge yourself. Do you believe Samson is, whether natural or chaotic, do you believe Samson is good?
Yes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think he's the most good of the group.
Okay. Though, through its limited personality, the artifact resists for a brief moment, for it does sense a touch of undeath upon you. It has a measure of deep understanding as well. It takes its time judging you. Half an hour passes, an hour. Eventually, indeed, you do attune to it. I can give you the details, or I can give the entire party the details of this item. Which one would you like?
The way.
Hmm?
Go ahead and show everyone.
Sure.
I would say he would probably just share it with us. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just I like practicing
Yeah.
privacy with items, because sometimes people can do fun things with that. There's no spoilers in it, I'm pretty sure. Just gonna go ahead and paste the description and show to party. Go ahead and let's go through it real quick, just so we all understand what it does. It's quite a nifty item. Very useful.
Lunch.
Oh, it deals with vampires.
The holy symbol has 10 charges of the following properties. It regains 1d6 plus 4 charges daily at each dawn. And yes, Barovian dawns do count. It can hold vampires. As an action, you can expand one of the charges to present a holy symbol to make it flare up. Within 30 feet of this flare, every single vampire must make a DC 15 wisdom saving throw. Failing that, it is paralyzed for 1 minute, making the save on each of its turns. It can turn undead if you have that feature as a... I know paladins have it. I don't know if clerics have turn undead, but I think some do.
They do.
Yeah, we do.
I
We
think
do,
all
it's Channel
clerics
Divinity.
have
Right.
Paladin, but only like one class.
Cool. So if you
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
if you have
we
turn
get
undead
turn
as a
undead.
feature, you can spend 3 of the charges to use it instead of your class's feature. And then, most importantly, if it has 5 charges, you can expand those 5 charges to present the holy symbol and make it shed true, bright sunlight.
Sunlight.
30 feet and 30 feet more of dim sunlight, but sunlight nonetheless. The only source of sunlight. Perhaps. It lasts for 10 minutes, or until you end the effect. It does not take concentration. It does not... I can't talk today. I don't know what's wrong with me. It does not take concentration.
Cool.
Cool.
Very.
We have a Strahd Buster now.
Well, to
I only
Raven,
state
my
facts.
friends. To the castle.
To the end game, to the darkest dungeon. Let's go. We got 1 of 3 items activated. Let's go. That how you guys
Well-
are like, Irina, do you have like any other stores in your family? Like, you have a card reading. Like, you have a main quest.
I thought from the initial description of it that it was someone holding a sword in one hand, with the handle in one hand and the blade in the other hand. And so I
Yes.
was thinking that you needed different sized sword.
Yeah.
I'm giving you that information because that's exactly how your character would go through this situation. You would believe the most obvious first, and then more complicated later as you're discovering things. And I'm not making a rule for them because they're that obvious as you're discovering them. I would make
For me,
Hmm?
the gazebo was the clue, like
what?
the start in the floor looks like the raven of symbol, so that's how I picture it.
The what on the floor?
In the house next to a lake.
Oh god, yeah, there is a nice. You have that
symbol
pattern.
of the
there.
sun. Yeah, of course. I heard
Yeah.
Raven and was like, where do you see ravens?
Yeah.
The one that, as a player, I knew was you had.
The Shrine of the White Sun
yeah.
has a sun symbol on it, huh? Like, you know, good.
I was looking at, because Nadia was told by the spirit that it needs sunlight, and we have a symbol for sun. So I knew that player wise, but Samson hadn't heard that yet.
Right.
Well, okay, so that attunement will take effect some way into our journey.
Sure.
So I don't think
We
it's
live in
currently
Kresh. Does
in
anybody
my
want to do anything last minute in Kresh before you guys put it behind you?
I think we're
No.
happy living.
Okay.
But Kristoff is mighty inquisitive about our magical items.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Oh, I'm
To be
yeah,
honest,
so listen to it.
Jeb was like, "Can I sell it?" So I don't feel like it's out of character for a merchant.
I wasn't necessarily trying to sell it. I just
He's
wanted
not
to know how much.
salivating over it. He's just fucking in awe of it. What do you want for him to be like? Man, I've seen it before. Like, no, it's a magical item, and he knows, he crafts magical items. He knows the quality of them, and he can tell when like an artifact is before him. It's like you seeing I don't know, like what's a really good car? I'm not a car person.
I don't know.
Like
No idea. I'm not a car person.
Lamborghini in front of you on the street, you know, like just on the street of your town, like, oh, it's a Lamborghini, it's a really good fucking car. It's like that. Holy shit.
Question. I'm assuming
So.
it starts with 10 charges. It
Roll
doesn't
for
start.
it. It will start with how
start
many
at-
you roll. Because it's been inert for some time, but we can say that that ritual we just did filled it with enough essence remaining within the statue. That was what the enchantment aura was, after all. But it is reserving a little bit more for the other item, so it's not going to charge it fully. 7 charges, that's more than fair. I'm just scrolling past everything as we head onto the road back to Vallaki. Right. I'll open up the big map because it's fun. Baroya. Can everybody
How
hear?
does this-
Hmm?
I was just gonna ask Samson, how does this parse with your god's teachings?
And what about the other one that resides within you, Zadoon?
Well,
Samson has a menagerie of gods. Aya has a menagerie
Yes.
of monsters. Everyone's just
think-
collecting things.
as it stands right now, I think we're kind of okay. Everything seems to have at least the same objective of fighting back darkness.
I mean, not to completely lie,
What?
you yourself did feel a slight resistance from the undead side
Yes.
of you, which can be,
Yeah.
connected to Jadoon. I wouldn't say he's just sitting there like, yeah, no, I'm okay with this. You felt some pushback, but
Oh yeah,
your
Yeah.
will overcomes, not his. Not yet.
yes. Yes, I'm aware of that.
I appreciate that one of the players hears my little, like, me having my DM fun. Not yet. Give me time. I will make you all Strahd. You will all understand my pain. You will all become incels.
Ugh.
Alright. Back on track. Sorry, did you ask your question about the whole, is your god okay with it? I didn't want to interrupt.
No, that was essentially it.
Okay. So, you begin your journey east, trekking mile after mile on the muddy Svalich road that cuts through the haunted Svalich woods, through the haunted Wolf Run woods, until you cross a stone bridge that comes upon it's Raven River crossing. So it's about like here you make it? Yeah. Excuse me. You see a weather-worn signpost next to the road. The three arms of the signpost point along three branches of the road. The arm pointing north, back where he came from, reads Krashk. The arm pointing east reads Vallaki. The arm pointing southwest reads the Wizard of Wine's Winery. Further down the road, just a little bit to the north, you can see a wide dirt trail that leads into the forest, toward what looks to be a mountainside lake enclosed by misty woods and rocky bluffs. At the lake's center, connected to shore by a thin gravel trail, looms a lone tower. And Nadia, from where you are, you can see there's a brooding series of storm clouds kind of swirling around the tower's peak, and the thunder calls to you.
Would I be able to discern if it's magical thunder, or
It
would
doesn't
it be
seem
natural? Okay.
You've seen natural storms. This seems to be synthetic?
And you're talking about this right here, right?
Yes, to the north.
Okay.
Because to the south, the road gradually kind of ascends out of the Wolfen Woods toward the far-off peaks of Mount Gakis, right?
I'll take a deep inhale, kind of get the smell of the storm and just like the feeling of it, the
You can
electricity in
smell
the air.
ozone on the air,
Mhm.
that pungent, sweet smell.
I will turn to Samson, and I'll kind of put like a hand. Well, Samson, are you in the cart or are you walking?
I would have had to be in the cart because I was
Okay.
effectively short resting in order to attune, right?
I
Yeah.
believe
Or
you can
is
walk
attunement
while
over a
short
short
resting.
rest? Oh, yeah.
I think you can travel while short
think-
resting. I'll check the rules.
I-
But whatever,
I don't.
you're in a cart
I don't
either way,
remember.
yeah.
I'll reach over and actually put my hand like around your wrist, gently, with just like a small little tiny firm squeeze, I can feel that over there. That storm. It's not natural. It's not how the clouds move and everything. But that tower, we've come by here so many times, but I've never noticed it before till now. But it's like a pulling feeling. Do you know? Do you feel it?
I don't know. I don't feel
I
anything.
don't feel I don't feel a pull, but I felt similar.
Irina seems to look
pulled in
at you
direction.
with a look of, I can relate to pools, places.
Yeah.
It feels a little ominous.
I'll
I
put
like
on cheerier music.
No, this is perfectly reasonable unless you want to throw in thunderstorm sounds.
Good.
Yeah. Uh,
um,
Well,
Maybe-
how far away are we? Like, would you say this path is to the
That's
like entry of the?
the less than a mile away.
Does it look like it's raining or just like ominously thundering and
It
like
doesn't look
thunderclap?
like it. Perhaps slight drizzle, but not heavy rain.
Okay.
More thunder and occasional lightning. But yeah. I mean, I can't find thunder without rain sounds. That's why.
No, yeah, no.
Right.
I was just wondering, like, is it like monsooning or is it just like a light drizzle and like mostly thunder and lightning?
It's mostly thunder, man.
well,
If I was to climb a tree, would there be anything like at the base of the tower? Like, would there be any like tents or any markings that would
Only
discern?
Perception. Within a mile, I won't even give you a disadvantage because you're up on a rise and you're on a tree line. You'd be able to scout a mile out. The most obvious, you can tell that there seems to be what looks to be like a Vistani wagon parked a short distance away from the tower. It's a little bit muddy. You can discern the colors a little bit purplish, and there's like two lanterns hanging on each side of it that are alight. But you can't tell much detail from this far distance. Definitely a Vistani cart. No horses. Anything else at the base of it? You roll a 14 perception. You notice, you can't explain it, but you notice there, not at the base of the tower, all throughout the tower. At the very edges of it, where it's, you have an object and you have an edge, seems to be a slight shimmer. It's like a heat coming off it, or like some kind of sort of air distortion.
Okay, like a heat wave.
Like
but
a
not
heat
like
wave,
heat.
or like something is shimmering the air around it.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a storm, maybe it's something else. I'm not sure, but you notice it.
I'll relay that, but I actually never ever had any encounters with the Vistani. I would just know like
Okay,
their cart.
I said
but-
Vistani, would you like to know what it looks like? It's a barrel top wagon.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Oh, does it resemble Rotavio's?
Yes. So you would have seen something of its like, yes.
So from atop the tree, I'll be shouting down. I'm shouting, but I'll relay the information about the tower and how it kind of shimmers. There's like a wave to it. It seems like there's almost like a shield around it or some sort. But I don't know of any other magic users in the area. We've passed through here so many times. But it does look like it's Rotavio's.
obvious. Suppose he did have some magic about him, but I thought that more a storyteller's illusions to make for a better tale than protecting a whole tower.
Suppose we, it says Arena, I suppose we don't need to assume, we can simply investigate it as a small detour after all. Worst comes to worst, we can turn around and head back to the road, right?
That's true.
Yeah,
I mean-
I can sympathize with heeding a call of sorts, of feeling drawn to a place. I would hate it very much if you guys denied me my drawn ends. I would hate to deny Nadia hers.
Let's go then.
I know we have pressing things in Vallaki, but
Hmm.
and the kind of try to
9
discern
o'clock
the
in the morning,
time.
you have time before.
Okay. Yeah,
everything,
yeah,
so
yeah.
for
Yeah.
once, you're not pressed for time. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
God.
Right.
The burden of being a hero.
As you turn the couch onto the dirt trail, it's a little rougher than the main roads, but the forest hasn't completely swallowed it. You eventually come to a cold mountain lake enclosed by misty woods and the rocky bluffs. There's a thick fog that creeps across the dark, still waters. The trail ends at a grass-covered causeway that stretches 100 yards across the lake to a flat, marshy island with a stone tower on it. The tower is old, decrepit, with collapsing scaffolds clinging to one side where a large gash has been split in the wall. Time-worn griffin statues, their wings and flanks covered with this grassy moss, perch atop the buttresses that support the walls. Indeed, as I've said before, parked near the base of the tower within sight of the entrance is a barrel-top wagon spattered with mud. Since we are here, I'm assuming your approach, I will let us into the map. This map is divided into quarters, so I believe you'll be in the
Fireball race? What?
Don't worry about it. I hate how that spawned, but don't worry about it. That was supposed to be on another map, actually. I don't know what it's doing here. Anyway. Yeah, so parked near the base of the tower, within sight of the entrance, is a barrel-top wagon spattered with mud. And there's the tower. I believe you all should have vision just fine,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, Novak is with us in spirit, but it only gets token on the map, so that's fine.
Oh, whoops.
What do you do?
I'll actually, noticing it's Rictavio's cart, I'll actually kind of want to come up and see if it looks like it's been active in a little bit. Maybe he's around.
So, from, as far as memory serves, from a few days back, Octavius' cart was slightly different color now that you remember it. Red with a carnival font. Inscription upon it. It said something along the lines of like Octavio's Carnival of Wonders, behold and witness, or whatever. This is a different wagon. To some measure of disappointment, but some measure of inquisition. Under layers of mud, this wagon sports a fresh coat of purple paint, and its wheels have fancy gold trim. A brass lantern hangs from each corner, and you can see red drapes cover tombstone-shaped windows on each side. Walking kind of to inspect the cart, you're sort of at the back of it, you will see this. There's a steel padlock secured to the back door. Hanging from which is a cheap wooden sign that reads, "Keep out." And then there's some sort of a symbol that's been drawn below these words. The symbol looks like the... Give me a moment. I wonder if I can put it in chat. If so.
Like a crude. Oh. Oh.
Keep out. And then that symbol drawn below.
Well, it seems like Rictavio's changed up his wear here a little bit. I don't remember this color. It seems like he's a little bit more. What's the word? Keeping to himself now a little bit more. Wasn't he the one who told you about Death House?
Well, yes.
No.
Maybe the car is a friend of him, not his.
That's true.
Could
He's
be.
the only one that I know of who was around this cards. You guys speak of the Vistani, but I've yet to see him. Well, maybe he's got I don't know, friends in the area. But it's just odd that we've never noticed this place being so alive before on all of our different passings. So, perhaps they're home.
Maybe there's something afoot in the tower. I do miss his stories. One of my teachers was a bard, and it would be a nice aside to at least hear if there's any interesting stories about. Perhaps he's heard of. If he did tell you where Death House was, perhaps he's heard tell of where this there's someone in Barovia who that Vistani told me about is.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Although I think Death House was more of a local legend, as opposed to him knowing where people are located. After all, a storyteller knowing the local legends is a little bit different than knowing people, but there's a chance. Hey, do you want to knock? After all, we should be polite.
Santa.
Real quick, too. That orb that I got from the golem's chest does that have full charges on it?
No, it has no charges in it.
Oh, okay.
It
Then
just
okay.
enough to power the golem before it died, not enough to cast your powerful magic. It needs to be charged. Perhaps the abbot had some sort of device just for the thing, but now it's too late.
Right, because I have my item, and it says I can restore it in exposed when to a thunderstorm.
Yes, and indeed the clouds above boil. I'm just uploading a file currently because I wanted to show you guys like the neat little view of the space. But
Yeah.
while I'm doing this, it is 8 o'clock. Does anybody need like a little break, like a washroom break or anything? Get some water?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
Take it.
I'll grab water real quick.
Because I'm prepping a little something here and I'm uploading, so go ahead and take it. And I'll get back to you regarding the item because there's something I want to say about that too.
Power mimic.
No. Enough Pokemon as it is.
Pokemon. Alright, I'm gonna get some water.
Loading files takes forever.
A bit of a file.
It's a small gift
Man.
because they're animated.
Carbonated water. So good. With natural flavors.
You want boiled water.
No, I want sparkling water. Because I'm bougie. A little bit of strawberry in there. Oh.
When the shake's so good, it turns you gay.
Gay.
I'm laughing because I'm just going over something. I'm like, I did it with my friends once.
What?
Just it's really dumb. It's along the lines of like, this is so good, makes me want to suck cock. Like it just like it's dumb. It's like really
Yeah.
dumb, but it makes me laugh every time I think about
That
it.
was the weirdest thing to come back to.
Yeah,
That's what me and my friends always do. We just
we play League of
dumbest
Legends and we just
shit.
go retarded mode.
Yeah, that's what we
When
do.
you play League for like 3 hours, like, and you parch yourself, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna order a shake or some shit, and it arrives, and you're like, so good.
See, I'm just always saying bussy now, and it's just I can't stop saying it.
That's something. That's
What?
lit. Hopefully, I'm not lagging
It's
because I'm uploading a
lit.
file.
No, you're fine. Oh yeah, and sorry for being so like AFK this week. I started a new job this week as well on Monday.
Talkers.
So yeah, it's cool. I definitely have a lot more responsibilities, and it's definitely a step up from where I'm at. so more's expected of me, and it's a big corporate setting now.
It's fun.
But
It's understandable. It's just a game. As long as you're having fun, one way or another. I don't expect you to be here like every day and reply to RP chat. RP chat is just a bonus.
yeah, but I still like being a part of that stuff.
True.
It can be fun.
Hey.
I'm hoping they will
Uploaded.
get me on this tomorrow, though.
There we go.
Nice.
And you can click on it and it will zoom in and shit. That's why it takes
Wow!
a lot, because it's actually, even zoomed in, it's small because that's how it plays videos. I don't know why. Like, I have them at full resolution, where it's like a full screen. But yeah, that's essentially it.
Wow.
Is that a what file is that?
That's a GIF.
What
I have them
what's
with
a GIF?
WebM, GIFs, and other formats, but for Rule 20 does not do WebMs too good. It seems to like puke them back up for some reason.
That's what I was wondering, because
Also,
I
you can't put GIFs in. You can only put GIFs and images in handouts. You can't put videos, so you need to make it a GIF. Same thing with tokens. You can have GIF tokens if you want it. It's just that I'm pretty sure if each of us had an animated token that moves around and stuff and expresses, it will make like our computers crap themselves.
I imagine.
Are we all back?
Yeah.
If you're not here, say aye. That's what I thought. All right, cool.
No work. You fail.
Yeah.
So there's a tower. One exception from the image is that there's two what looks to be like bronze braziers on each side of the tower, but we'll get there. As far as the cart goes, Jeb, you're literally standing right there, so I have to ask you, because you're looking at this sign, do you know Thieves' Cant?
I do know Thieves' Cant.
That's Thieves' Cant for danger on the other side. It is what's called a Tralak, or hobo language. You know, symbols on the street.
I would warn. I would tell. Is it? It's for the. It's for the tower, right? Not the
No,
cart.
it's on the. There's a sign on the back of
On
the
the cart.
wagon. There's a padlock. There's a sign that says "Keep Out," and then there's the symbol.
I would relay that to Nadia and just say that. Be careful. This symbol is. It's rare. It's rare for people to be so forthright with such warning. So I wager there is a very dangerous trap or protective mechanism behind this door.
Makes you wonder who it's meant for.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's
being
weird
in
for
this,
someone to just tell someone like, "Hey, there's essentially like a shotgun booby trap on the other side of this door," instead of just like having them blow your face off.
Communion between thieves.
Professional courtesy. Yeah.
Honor among thieves, right? Yes.
I
No?
surely don't doubt it. I'm not looking to enter it by any means. Just merely just getting a look. But I guess we'll. I don't know. force someone.
I'd give just like if there's like a Thieves' Cant of a fellow professional just like checking in, just like a bunch of knocks just to say like announcing our presence. We mean no harm, like whatever knock that would be. Like, dot.
Sure. Whatever that Morse code
Well,
might be,
yeah.
there is no reply from within. Nothing stirs, no curtains open.
Yep.
No movement inside.
Is there a hole blown open in the side? Like, is that a stairway up
There-
there? Like a scaffolding?
There is a scaffolding, and there is a gash on one side of the tower, yes. It looks scorched, and leaves a guess as to what have happened.
Well, maybe
Oh.
something happened to our guests. Maybe
Let's
we should
see.
be on the lookout.
Someone inside, and I'll knock the door.
Okay. You knock on the door. Are we done with the standing cart?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, I don't need anything.
So I don't split my concentration. Ba-ba-ba-ba. So you all watch as Aya approaches the tower, and Nadia, you recall the shimmering around the tower, and as you watch Aya approach it, she seems to cross some sort of a barrier that makes the air again kind of shimmer as if she just delved inside. And at the exact same moment, the crystals floating around her mask if you're wearing your mask.
Wearing.
Are you wearing your mask?
Yeah.
If you are wearing your mask, the crystals around it just fall to the ground, and the light within them grows mute. The mask itself, while magic attached, falls off Aya's face onto the ground. Every single magical object on your body silences. Just feel its essence leave you.
I'll actually yell out, be like, "Aya, stop! You're in a magical barrier right now. Anything that's been tainted, any of these items that we're possessing won't make it through here."
Do you still knock on the door?
Yes, I knock the door.
Okay.
While I'm picking my charts.
Yes.
Aya, given that
I
you
have to
and
follow up with an action.
okay, go on.
I'm just reading it. I'm skipping the wagon, that's what I'm doing. Okay. Let's grab it later.
How
Touching the
much
door.
damage I take?
That's what I'm reading.
I'm getting there.
Those of you kind of
10d10.
looking to the side from all this begin to feel a charge growing in the air. Now you're very familiar with this. Is the very sensation you feel before you cast a spell. It's a rising sensation. The hair on your arms kind of rises with static. An outcrop of rocks nearby, several dozen feet away from the tower, sparks. There's sparks flying between them, and then sends a bolt toward the tower's top. And very quickly, a pulse of magic spreads from the tower's top down its walls with glowing streaks of lightning, and then hits the ground. An electric bolt stings your hand, Aya, as the tower is absolutely enveloped in lightning. Streaks of lightning lash out again, strike at your metal armor, and just scorch the ground around you. So Aya, make me a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage. Everybody else within 10 feet of the tower right now, who's wearing metal armor, make me a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage. Everybody else within 10 feet of the tower right now, who's not wearing metal armor, make me a normal dexterity saving throw.
Hey.
Okay.
I killed the party.
I take
Damn,
0
Jeff.
damage.
Natural 1 is very fitting for this.
Yeah, I was pretty distracted.
So
I have a breastplate,
I
so I
should
take
have-
11.
Yeah, and I've got metal armor, so
that's
I'm
6,
at
11.
6.
So, Jeb, you see this coming. Your instincts kick in, and you just in that split moment you leap backwards and cover your face, cower away, and you get hit by streaks of lightning. It does kind of scorch away the hair on your arm, and you can feel your muscles convulse. You take half damage. Everybody
I
else
take 0 damage because of evasion.
So wonderful, absolutely wonderful. The rest of you. The rest of you take 16 lightning damage as lightning strikes. And
Can we use a reaction during this?
Yeah,
Can I use the magical stormlight from the orb to absorb
absolutely. You
half
can
of
half
that
it, and
damage?
you halving 16.
8.
It will not give you a charge though, because it requires
Oh,
10
no.
damage. It requires you to absorb a very high amount of damage.
Oh, okay. I got it now.
Or
Cool.
we can make an optional rule if you want to make it fair but a little bit more risky. You can take the full damage, and we can just say however much damage you took, that's how much charge you gain. You just change the item. That way you can charge it more often, but you'll take more damage. Or you
Yeah,
can give
but
me-
it's like, how often are we going to be coming against, like, electrical,
You'll be surprised. Don't even think in those
Yeah.
terms. I shaped a campaign around my players, not the other way around. So,
Yeah.
so it's really you're choosing between resistance to lightning damage going forward or charging the thing more often.
I don't know. I kind of like it where it's at. I feel like that's pretty balanced, though.
And I will ask a question. We haven't long rested since the abbot, right?
We long rested that night.
No, we.
Yes.
Since after the abbot, I should say.
No, you haven't. You can't long rest
Only
more than
okay.
once per 24 hours. Correct.
In that case, people should still have temporary hit points from Twilight Sanctuary, because I had time left over on that for the abbot fight. Unless people took damage outside of that. Because those don't go away until a long rest.
Yeah.
No, we long rested since the abbot fight,
No.
didn't we?
No.
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 You're fresh out of the apt fight. You came down and the Dimitri was still holding his head from you concussing him. Still fresh.
Oh,
wounded,
I misunderstood. I misunderstood that. I thought that was the next morning, where.
Oh,
you
yeah, I
you
got it.
raided
No,
the abbey in
we
the morning.
attacked at dawn.
Oh,
Remember-
right,
You
Oh,
left
right,
before the mob.
right. You're
Give
right.
you time
You're,
to
yeah.
talk to the abbot, and the mob caught up like an hour later or some shit.
Yep. In my head, like I remember that now.
That I need to remember my spells that I accidentally took a long rest, but I'm gonna adjust it. Okay. I only used 3.
And I'm trying to think. Level up happens at short rest, or but
Long
we would re-get spells at long, or everything
Yeah.
at long.
You get spells at short rest if it says so. If it says you get them back at
Oh,
short
no,
rest. That's the question.
I mean, the fact that when I leveled 7 from the end of the abbot fight, I now technically know 4th level spells. And I need know 1 additional spell. But those I recover.
The rules
those
say you gain back
I learn
all
in
your
long
spell
rest.
slots on a long rest.
Yes,
And
I'm
that's-
not talking. I'm not talking. Never mind.
Yep.
I think I understand what's going on there.
Okay. So the entire tower becomes enveloped in lightning as you clutch to your singed hand there, Aya, stepping away from the door. And now it's illuminated by a little bit more light. You can see the door in detail. Helps you rest your action a little bit.
Oh, I need to take 8 damage then. Fuck. Oh.
Well, I mean, you have to damage if you're absorbing charges. If it's
Yeah.
not absorbing charges, then
Oh, it needs to be the full 10. Okay.
it needs to
fuck,
be at least
16.
10. It needs to be at least
Okay.
enough to absorb a charge, because it's like a capacitor. It's like a battery. If it's too low voltage, it's gonna just bounce it back. That's how batteries work. Argue with me in the comments, YouTube. The tower door is made entirely of iron, now electrified, with no visible handles or hinges. It rung out a little bit when you knocked too. In the middle of the door is a large metal circle with a series of draconic runes set about its circumference. Curved into the lintel above the door is a word in what you would recognize to be draconic runes. So, really, off the bat, I'm gonna ask if anybody speaks draconic.
No. I think Novark probably did, maybe.
I mean, after we get Singer, like, what's doing Rick Tavio on this tower? I can read the door if we wait 10 minutes.
I don't actually think you can, because if that's comprehend languages requires that you touch the thing for
I
like a
can touch
minute to read. The door is electrified right now, right?
It's actively enveloped in lightning.
I mean, you could touch the thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Seems like an Aya thing to do, though.
Yeah, I don't have problem trying new things.
It hurts to read.
Yeah, unless you're actively being electrocuted holding onto the door, I'm gonna have you to step back a little bit.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right. Like, I have
just
to
like
read.
convulses, like touching the door. It's fine.
Oh,
I'm reading, guys. Let me. Ugh.
yeah. Well,
So, what do you
that was unpleasant.
I say? Irina and Christoph are with you, witnessing this all. Just by the by.
Wow.
He isn't a normal storyteller. That's for
There-
sure.
Looking at the wagon, there's no like windows. Or
There
no,
There are
the coffin.
two tombstone-shaped
There's-
windows on either side, with red curtains covering them.
On the inside.
Yeah. what would you have? Curtains on outside. I will get wet and rain. Disgusting. Disgusting.
Yeah. Well, they are not covering the door and windows anymore because I am mage handing through the window. I'm mage handing, creating it right. Especially
You're parting the curtains.
Yeah, I'm parting the curtain
Okay.
with mage hand. It's invisible. But yes.
Peering inside, it is not illuminated, but there's enough gloom light to peer in. Give me a moment. I'm just going up and down my notes. You get a glimpse of the wagon's interior. You can see several dozen glass flasks filled with some sort of amber fluid that dangle from wires like ornaments along the wagon's interior walls. Looking some more throughout, there are a couple wooden trunks that looks like to be covered with claw marks, a narrow wardrobe, a golden stringed lyre resting on a pretty comfortable looking pillowed recamier, and if you don't know what a recamier is, it's like, you know, when you go to the psychiatrist and they have like a very like comfortable looking couch kind of thing.
Yeah.
Imagine feeding Caesar grapes, that kind of couch.
Yeah.
As well as there's a sculpted wooden cage holding a live chicken within. You see copper pots and pans hanging on the opposite wall from the window. There's a small end table upon which sits another tiny box, a couple scroll tubes, a map, and yeah, I mean, I can't give you too much for just glancing through a window, but yeah, that's what you can kind of see from your angle there. I would say that's 2 minutes have passed, and the tower is still engulfed in this lightning magic.
You said like the arc came from the boulders and everything to the left of it?
Yeah, there's just an outcrop of stones where the sparks started, like a contact point.
Well, Nadia, do you still feel that pull?
I can still feel it all right.
It's glorious. It's
I mean, I'm
powerful.
impressed.
It's
Yeah,
respectable.
I'm
Looking at the door, does it look like there's a padlock or something on it? Is it
So,
just like, is it need to be
As
open?
I described before, the tower door made of iron has no visible handles or hinges or locks. It only has in the middle of the door a large metal circle with a series of draconic runes set about its circumference. And then carved into the lintel above the door is a 6-character word written in draconic as well. No locks to pick, no nothing. The worst kind of door for a thief. I whiz this door.
Who you calling a thief?
Why are you looking for a lock?
well, perhaps there's something in the stones that'll, I don't know, maybe interfere with it. But I can't do anything with this right now. I'm kind of badly hurt.
Seems the armor was more of a detriment in this particular circumstance.
Yeah, this time, yes. While I might be able to wield the powers of, you know, the Tempestus Lord, I'm still susceptible to it. My power hasn't grown that much, but some.
As you finish that thought, it's been about 5 minutes since the lightning first struck, and you can see magic from the ground up begins to get sucked up, this lightning going universe into the clouds above, and then back into the rocks. And the tower is enveloped in lightning. Oh.
I'm gonna walk around the tower to see if there are like any windows.
There
And I think it was
are arrow slits on the first 3 floors and several windows on the last floor up.
Nadia, I have seen you being pretty
There's
fast.
also, as mentioned before, there's a scaffolding going around. Just worth mentioning, there's a scaffolding kind of winding its way around the tower.
Does it still have that like wave coming off of it?
Yes, anybody who would like approach past that barrier that's about it's about 5 feet away from the tower's wall, since you envelop the entire tower as it shimmers. Every time you enter it, you feel all magic just drain away from you. All magic items become mundane, and if you were trying to just cast a cantrip or something, it just doesn't manifest. The shimmer is still there.
Maybe check those boulders. Maybe there's something, it's conducting it in some kind of manner.
Maybe. Other option, if we want to draw attention, is this. I will reach into one of my other pouches and pull out a signal whistle. A little
I
bit
just want
loud.
to, yeah. I just want to yell up and just yell Rictavio.
What do you think he will respond to us? Last
He
time
knows us.
you gave him a big scare.
I
Yeah.
actually wasn't aware of that. But he does know us. He knows we don't bring any harm. That we are here for the people. And I'll yell again for Rictavio.
You yell again. Again, there's no reply.
Well, I'll check the boulders. I'm not sure. I don't think are.
You'll have to be
these
more
ones, right?
specific with I'll check the boulders for me to give you any result.
Where the lighting seems to like take some ground, like to be cast. I don't know, like for what I understood.
What do you do? I understand what I did. What do
Okay,
you
okay.
do?
Okay. I wanna see around them, like if they have any markings, or if there is something on the base of them.
They seem awfully pale, milky like color. Yellow in some spots, but no scorching. Curiously enough.
Uh,
The ground still feels warm from what you would guess the impact of lightning. And the grass is burnt in places. But the rocks, not a single mark upon them.
What are those two? Oh no, I'm sorry. Never mind. Those braziers on the side. Are they
They're-
just filled with like?
Bronze
Go ahead.
braziers, if you were to approach them close enough to smell the liquid within, they're filled with some sort of an oil. You're not sure, some kind of chemical mixture. Now that you being an alchemist, you won't be able to be fluent in its decipherment, but seems to be like a brazier of some sort, waiting to be ignited. The liquid within is greenish, teal in color.
well, I found weird that there is a sign on the card saying that be careful, but the door doesn't have anything. It shoots lightning. Maybe.
Well-
So just so we're not confused, the keep out sign is on the wagon. Yeah?
Yes, on the card. Yeah, I got that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what's your confusion?
Well,
I don't know. No, it's not my confusion. I'm just saying like the wagon has like a warning sign, but the tower doesn't have anything, and
It
almost-
has things on it. It has writing on it.
it's just not an
Illegible.
any of us can read.
Yeah, like,
Exactly.
and the warning on the cart, it just happened to have been able to be read by me, so it would have been as dangerous if we didn't. We just need someone to speak the language, and we
Keep
don't.
out is written in common.
Well, the other interesting thing, if we look inside this wagon, you've got the trunks have claw marks.
the inside.
Yeah, I opened. I
You
moved
see
the
Samson
curtain
kind of
behind
peering
the-
through the window where he used mage hand to part the curtains and look inside. I described inside. If you missed it, I can describe it again.
No, it's alright.
Yeah, there are wooden trunks with claw marks, a golden layer, a live chicken, a comfy couch, and some tiny boxes and scroll tubes. And a map. Can't forget the map.
As much as I'm intrigued by these storms, I'm more intrigued now to see who lives here.
Yeah. So, question. Claw marks. If I was to compare those to, say, the type that myself and Novark created last night.
Identical.
Well, I know why the cart has keep out on it.
Do you think this is to keep something in the tower rather than to keep us out?
I think there's some combination of that, but I think it's more to keep the home of this individual free of others.
Yeah, are you gonna attempt to try and read the writing on the wall?
Uh,
Your call.
Yes.
Just asking.
Not yet, not yet. Let's give it a few more minutes before I do a TPK.
Yeah, I got.
There might be a clue within the cart, though I would feel quite disrespectful at opening something that so very politely warned us of the dangers within.
Well, why don't people stay back a little bit? And
Kristoff
I
takes
see
Irina by the hand and gentlemanly kind of leads her a good 40, 50 feet away. Just in case.
And I see if it's touching the door that triggers it, or if me walking up this scaffolding will trigger it as well. And I will start approaching the scaffolding, being very careful to see if I'm looking at the stones. If I start to see that energy gathering, I will back off.
As soon as you step toward the tower, you feel your hold on the mage hand dissipate away. Everything magical on you dissipates away. Becomes muted. Putting one foot onto the rickety scaffolding, you can feel the rotting wooden beams that support the scaffolding groan and creak with the slightest breeze. Looking up, you can see a series of ladders and platforms that lead to a hole in the northwest wall. Looks to be the third floor if you were to judge by the arrow slits. How much do you weigh, Samson, with your gear?
So gear is 155 and Samson is 130, so
Cool. So as soon as you step on the first step, it breaks under your foot.
That's not going to work. I will.
The lightning did not occur.
Well, bright side is that lightning seems to only happen on the door. The downside is that the ladder's a little bit worn out.
Oh yeah, could you reach
Well-
that window? I point to the top of the tower.
Third floor, we're talking about 30 feet up.
Fourth floor is where the windows are at. Everything else is like a little tiny arrow slit, and then there's windows on top floor. For the height of the tower...
Gash. Where's the... Right, there's the gash in the picture. The scaffolding.
Toward the gash, I believe it's 60 feet up. 20 feet per floor.
Okay, so
40 feet to the floor, really, if you think about it. 20 floor.
Okay. So, well, I've got an idea that might get us in.
Well, if it's merely weight on the ladder, I do not have your armor, and luckily I have no pack weighing me down either.
That could work, although... Yeah, I suppose if you want to do that.
And if nothing else, I'm a bit more adept at avoiding these bolts, though I request you get your curative abilities ready in case this is a bad idea.
Oh, of course.
And I'm assuming that it's, at this point, because it's late morning, it's relatively bright out and that it's not dim light, right?
One moment, please. It's morning. I wouldn't say that it's sunlight bright, but it's not gloomy. It's to the point where what is it you're trying to say exactly? Sorry.
Is the light condition considered dim light for my abilities?
No. No. It's daylight.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Because then I'll be giving you the disadvantages on a whole bunch of shit, and we haven't been doing that. No.
Yeah.
What do you see if I put you there? That's perfect. If you want to see the scaffolding, I put your token.
I do see.
I'm gonna mirror your token where you're standing, essentially.
Perfect. Yeah, I see myself now. So yeah, he's going to go up to the scaffolding. For the record, I weigh 160 pounds with all of my equipment. I just have what's on my body and no backpack.
Sure. So as I described before, the rickety scaffolding, it's rotting wooden beams that support the scaffolding, and they groak and creak beneath your feet, the slightest breeze as well. Looking up, there's a series of ladders and platforms that lead to a hole in the northwest wall, third floor. All right.
He'll do his best to climb and try to avoid any clearly like rotted planks. That seems so obviously like rotted, but he'll do his best to be light on his feet and climb up the stairs.
Yeah.
Right.
And Samson is going to follow along, but kind of as he's going up the scaffolding, Samson will stay 10 feet back and kind of follow along so that as it's going around the tower, so that I have clear line of sight to him at all times.
Sure thing. You maneuver as far high up, if you want to go all the way to the top, as to the third floor, passing by a series of windows as the boards creak beneath you. Thankfully, they do not give away. But sitting higher up the ladder, I'm going to put yourself on the third floor. Scaffolding ends about over yonder for you.
Yep, I see it.
You're standing in front of the hole. Again, all magic muted away. Your items muted away. If you have any.
None to mute.
What you see, looking inside through the gash hole, looks to be time, and the elements have all but destroyed this chamber, leaving a gash in the northwest wall, and within, slimy black mildew on the walls throughout. The wooden floor is completely rotted and has begun to fall apart in places. There is some furniture, but it is so ancient and so dusted that it's crumbling away. In the middle of the room is a 5-foot square hole in the floor and ceiling that seems to have been cut out rather than fallen off. It's at the floor, it's at the ceiling, and there's rusty chains near each corner of this hole. The chains are part of the tower's construction, and they just continue upwards and downwards. Peering over the hole, you don't see quite the bottom of the floor, but keep going down.
Character, I'm getting strong Frankenstein vibes. He's going to attempt to sneak in, like tentatively, like half in, half out. Seeing the reaction downstairs, he's going to quickly move his body half in, then immediately pull out just in case there's another trap. So he'll go in and then immediately go out.
Sorry?
Nadia, are you watching this shit?
Sorry, I was muted, but yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's a funny sight, but it's horrifying all the time. He steps in the tower, barely steps out, turns to you almost to say it's safe or some shit. His hair is on end, and you can already see the flash coming. Make me a dexterity saving throw, and I mean everybody else is staying away from the tower, so you're the only one making that save throw. Again, the rocks flash, send it upwards, top of the tower. It comes down to the ground, and with a loud bang, bashes against the ground, and the whole tower is enveloped in lightning as soon as you enter it. And
but before I roll, just for I'm gonna try to dive inwards, because diving inwards is probably safer than diving outwards. 17.
So that's
not wanting to fall down the stairs. So 0 damage.
So you take no damage. I'm gonna roll it because I want to see how Okay, cool. I'm just curious to see how bad this damage is. As you do so, you leap inside, like land like a 3-point landing, and you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, dodge that. And then the floor just gives away, and you fall, hit the second floor, and you fall through the second floor and onto stone ground. And
How much does that hurt?
a lot. So that's gonna be 46 fall damage.
I can survive
12.
this. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
As you fall 2 floors on your face onto the first floor of the tower, effectively bypassing the door.
No,
Technically, technically a
fight the
win.
boss.
Is there a way to like harness this energy, like with? No, I don't know.
What?
You wanna put like the ball next to a tower or something like that?
Yeah, I was gonna try to see if that pearl, like if there was just a way to like harness all of its energy into, like to kind of like pull it away from the tower, where I can like put it into the orb that I have, but it seems like it's too powerful.
Pearl.
The
rocks, you mean?
orb I have. Yeah, no, the orb that I have. If I was to like kind of put my hand out, like could I? Like when the
You must be
lightning
holding to
comes
the
down.
object to charge it, unless you leave it in a natural storm.
Yeah, yeah. But it's not about.
That is
yeah,
the point of
but
the object to absorb damage and suffer it. You can get healing
Yeah.
and try if you'd like. Absolutely.
But I didn't know if that would like negate it. Like not about it like trying to get charges, but just trying to like redirect it like into that, like try to hold it.
I see what you're saying, and the answer is no,
Okay.
because of the nature of the spell. Right. Tower is electrified. We have the map, but it has to be on the two back. What's going on here?
Is there a doorknob on this end of the door?
Please hold. I have to fix this.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. So tower is electrified, but you're inside. That's why I'm doing this. Layering. You fell to the floor. You're about here inside. For the sake of my frame rate, because for some reason it's dying, I'm gonna go ahead and delete the effect. But we're saying the tower is electrified. I'm gonna just make it a little bit smaller. Cool. It's electrified. Yeah. Sorry. You were asking?
Just on this end. So I know there's no doorknob on the other side of the door. There's like the
Okay.
weird center knob with the draconic.
Ask me to describe the first floor. Will do.
Yes.
First floor. Inside, the flagstone floor. The flagstone floor is strewn with debris, and a few old crates stand near the east wall. What you're looking at is a torn curtain to the south, partially obscures the tower vestibule. Catching your attention is a 5-foot square indentation in the center of the floor before you, containing what looks to be 4 pulleys attached to taut iron chains that stretch up through a similar sized hole in the rotted wooden ceiling. Standing next to the chains are 4 tall clay statues that, upon seeing you, turn their heads, clench their fists around the chain, and stand attention. So,
He like cowers for a second to see if they're not gonna attack, and then he like
they're
catches
crunch,
his
You want some? But no, they're holding onto the chains. And this is like a vestibule covered by a curtain. To answer your question, there is no handle, but you note that while the outside of the tower is electrified currently, the inside is not.
He would just shout. He would go to the front door first, and then mention everything he sees. There's 4 statues. It seems safe on this end, but there does not seem to be any way of opening the door.
Did anyone hurt yet?
Yeah, he fell. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna assume that it doesn't work because I'm assuming that telekinetic. Or actually, because telekinetic shove against creatures, mage hand would be the one. So my mage hand doesn't go in. I'm gonna start looking for a stick of some sort.
Sure.
Like effectively a wooden log or staff of some
You
sort.
do that. As you're doing that, I'm gonna ask you one last time. Are you gonna try and read the writing?
Yep. I'm gonna do it.
Are you gonna wait for the lightning to dissipate? Or are you gonna go in falls in.
When it dissipates, I'm not masochist.
Took like 5-ish minutes last time, I think.
Wait, 3, 4 minutes. Meanwhile, gentleman indoors like, did anybody hear me? Like, huh?
Yeah, hearing nothing, he's gonna assume it's weird magic stuff. Well, if it's blocking magic, it's probably blocking sound too. I don't know. He's gonna inspect the golems. He's gonna inspect the room for see like.
I'll give
he'll,
you
like,
that
take a close look.
in just a moment.
Yeah.
As you're going around inspecting, meanwhile, you guys are waiting, and indeed, it seems that this lightning ward is programmed to last a few moments, and then to save energy, it dissipates back. This time, when it returns, you note that as it hits the top of the tower in reverse lightning motion, hits the top of the tower, a shingle just flies off, and something inside breaks. And you can see the tower shake for just a moment. You, Jeb, you feel this. For a moment, you have to catch yourself, to steady yourself. The entire tower shakes, dust begins to kind of settle on the floor as it quietens. But it doesn't fall over, thankfully. The lightning returns to the stones. With the tower no longer electrified, you're able to touch it and cast your spell if you wish.
Okay.
And it doesn't work because this is an anti-magic area around town.
I was waiting for that.
You spend the spell, and it fizzles out.
It's even worse because it's a full. In general, it's a full minute to read one page of text that you have to be touching it.
At this point, Kristoff kind of steps forward, now cautiously kind of inspecting the tower, and he's like,
I read Draconic.
well, if magic won't do, perhaps I could be of help. I know my fair share of languages. I didn't want to steal your glory, but I do know my fair share of Draconic.
Yes, if you're able to read Draconic, that would be quite helpful.
Seems a little bit entertained by not offering you help a little bit earlier.
And I'm
But
absolutely
not cruel enough
dumbstruck.
to see if somebody dies.
I'm trying to figure this out so hard, but I can't.
So, the door is made of iron. In the middle of the door is a large metal circle with a series of draconic runes set about the circumference. And carved into the lintel above the door is a word in draconic, which Kristoff reads. It says Khazan. Khazan. 6 letters. Seems to be a name of some sort. I'm not too familiar with the word in draconic. I would only guess as much. These runes around the circle, he's very careful not to touch the actual door, say his name was Power. And now that I think about it, DM did a stupid. As soon as he pronounced the word Khazan in that draconian accent, you see a message begin to magically carve itself into the circle. And slowly, steadily, he reads the message. It says, "Give the twins that which you hold but never keep, and if you take your last, you make it deep." So, riddle of some sort? A pass?
Do I hear this?
You can hear his voice through the door, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I
Twins
imagine.
clearly refers to the braziers.
Yeah, and I imagine what we never keep is our breath.
So,
Oh.
one moment. So, Aya, you said breath.
Yes.
Kristoff ponders the wood, and he's like, that might be it. Would you like me to perhaps try? It doesn't seem to react, but maybe if it's communicating in one language, it expects the answer in that language.
I
Yes,
think.
please.
Yeah, we can try that.
Oh, all right.
But I think we may have to breathe into the 2 braziers.
Breathe into the braziers!
I heard you, my boy. Whatever you do not touch the tower walls. I think that's what triggers it. I frankly really, really like you. I enjoy your company, and to see you fried would be quite a shame. Funny, but quite a shame. Also, I don't think I'll be able to stand the smell. Have you ever smelled a burnt corpse? It's awful.
Quite unpleasant.
Do you have any braziers on your end, by chance?
I do not, right?
No. It's just the 4 golem statues, and going through the crates, you kind of went through them. They seem to have already been purged through, or being looked through. They're rather empty.
I'll turn to.
But curiously
Nani. Do
enough,
you want to get one?
Curiously enough, you note that emblazoned on the crates, each one of them, are names of cities not in Barovia, or at least not covered by you, but from the Sword Coast.
I definitely relay that. It's a repository of filth and grime.
You say filth,
lesser
and then you cut off because you recognize your family's emblazonment on one of the crates.
I immediately open it to see like what
It's empty,
thing this is.
but the crate delivered from your family.
I will turn to Nani and say, "Do you want to grab the brazier on the left? I'll get the one on the right. We'll try breathing into it. I don't quite know how it'll work, but they've got to be the twins, right?
I mean, I was just gonna light them on fire, but sure.
Is fire breath?
Do you breathe, by the way, Samson? Do you breathe?
I can. I do not have to.
You chose not to.
I just don't feel like it.
Okay.
Listen, I can fake my orgasms, doesn't mean I have them.
Actually, technically, I can't. I don't breathe because I can. Yeah.
Yes. The 2 people who don't breathe.
I think we're established
going to try.
that Dampiers are not complete undeads. They're like half-bloods.
I can
Yeah.
survive underwater though.
But yeah, no,
Yeah,
unfortunately, as you guys go to breathe, I just want to finish the job. Unfortunately, the crates are empty, but, do note. A welcome sight in 10 days. You breathe, the oil ripples across the surface, but there's no reaction. And at the same time, shrugging, Christoph turns to the door and utters a phrase. Frar Trikis. Draconic word for breath. An outcrop of rocks several dozen feet away from the tower sparks once more, sending one final bolt toward not the tower's top, skyward. There's a rumble. Now do you feel the sizzle, and you can see the braziers illuminate and begin to hover above ground ever so slightly. They illuminate with draconic runes and begin to swirl about. The liquid within remains unignited. What do you do as this is all occurring? Because this is occurring over a course of like a minute.
So they're floating in front of us.
Right.
There's energy forming overhead.
So you can feel the coming storm. All the while, the word swirls in your head. Breath. Breath. Breath.
Sure, I breathe.
Yes.
I'm trying
With
to.
all your heart, you believe that, like, maybe, just maybe, it's within you this time. Breathe out, expecting something. Dark storm clouds brew overhead. The wind begins to gust, and large waves crash upon the lake's shore around the tower's island. The ground beneath all your feet quakes. The outcrop of rocks rises, revealing to be a ridged horn atop an otherwise blunt head of a massive creature. It has dramatic frilled ears and rows of spikes that extend back from its nostrils to the line of its brow, as well as a cluster of spikes on its lower jutting jaw. Its glossy scales vary in color from an iridescent azure to a deep indigo. Its hide hums with a crackle and static of electricity that gives off a sweet, pungy smell of ozone. Unburrowing itself, it spreads its wings and lets out an echoing roar. Roll for initiative.
Poor Mac.
Now, how are we feeling tonight? It is 9 o'clock.
I can't keep going, but people's choice.
I'm down either way. I'm safe. Do I have any way of getting up?
Up to you to discover on your turn.
Okay, I didn't know if it
Yes.
was obvious. I didn't know if there was like clear stairs.
It's a platform. There's chains. Golems are
Okay,
holding the
yeah.
chains.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure like there was. Yeah, sorry. I was just thinking like the floor gave way to make sure it was like covered in debris or whatever. Oh boy.
All right, then we're doing this. If everybody wants to keep going.
It's 9 o'clock.
It's up to you. We can just keep this going. We can surprise Mac with a nice like, what the fuck did you do?
Totally.
We beat it up, and it can be his new pet.
Think about the riddle. Do you get it? Do you get it yet, Mr. Krabs?
No.
I got it.
No.
I got it.
You want to share with class?
You're telling a dragon to breathe, and it's a blue dragon.
So it needs electrical?
I was gonna be like,
No.
if you put a torch in the brazier, sizzles out.
Like it's a blue dragon breathing, so you want lightning in the. I thought it wants lightning in the torches.
It wants its lightning. In the
Yeah.
braziers.
Oh, the lightning. It has to come from the dragon, but it can't come from
'Cause
any
it's
other
its
source.
breath.
Give the twins.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna
Its
also allow like if you have a spell Dragon's Breath,
No.
that will also work, but it has to be Dragon's Breath. We will continue session next time then, because I mean that's fair. It's 9 o'clock, and this combat might take a little bit.
Yeah.
But maybe it won't because you guys eventually figure it out. Jeff thinks he's safe. You're still in an electrified cage. If you touch the walls, you're dead. And you think the dragon is not gonna be like, hey, I don't care about lightning damage. Come here. Here's Johnny through that crack.
I have 18 health.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeb. Yeah, Jeb's gonna say he's safe. Jeb is always is.
I was so tempted to be like, you inspected the stones, and they're like yellow and milky and almost look like they're made of bone. And you fuck around with the stone, it's like, don't touch my nose, and just bops you. Like, and then initiative. But I was like, no, let me figure out the puzzle a little bit more.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that part.
Blue dragons lay in ambush. Usually they're in coastal zones or in sands. They are quite fun to ambush the party with. And we will see how this resolves itself next session. But yeah.
We're doing math. Don't worry.
You guys want a challenge? I'm giving you a challenge. I love the fact that Jeb is like, I dodged inside. I'm like, yes. I didn't think there was a use to the second and third floor, but here it is. Kukung.
He doesn't know any better. What is it? How hard can a dragon be? I take 0.
The next Curse Strahd character question is gonna be just one question like, if you encounter a young dragon, just asking curious, if you just happen to encounter a young dragon, what will be your reaction? And Mac's gonna be like, I don't know, like, why are you asking? And then I open session with this, like, you want a dragon's campaign? Here you go.
Yeah, poor Mac, he misses out.
He has to beat it in righteous combat before he can get his dragon familiar.
You're sort of close. There's many places where you can get dragon-themed things. This is one of them. And I'm really glad you kind of took that hook.
I remember when we were in the tome, right at the end of that battle, there was a dragon that flew
Not this
over
dragon,
us.
but there was a dragon much larger, much more elder. Yes, but there's a connection. Yes, it's good to keep in mind those things.
And then we're gonna limp our way into Vallaki after barely surviving this fight just to deal
Samson's
with.
already like doing the math.
Isaac.
Can I get there in time? And I'm like, Child, you think it's gonna stay
No.
stationary? You think 80 fly speed? I have dash action. You think I'm gonna stay? No. I
What's
love.
the strength?
There's nothing more I love more than combat where it's the DM fighting its players with just a single monster. I love mob fights, but like a single boss monster can really put love into it.
Single monsters are scary because in order for it to not be a stomp fight, it has to be scary, right? Like,
Yes, 100%.
By the way, I didn't change CR. This is literally what happens. You just surprise dragon, like off Strahd.
I just meant in general. Like, if you fight one thing,
Mm.
it's terrifying versus fighting like 5 things. Fighting 5 things, like it's
What
like the
about 5
powers
terrifying
distributed.
things, though?
Well, then it's just a
What if
team
I'm
game.
like 5 dragons? Fuck you. What you gonna do about it?
Just
Roll new
new
characters.
character. Yeah.
Well, okay. So, without saying how, Jeb was one action away from dying. Jeb, like, is, I mean, it might just have an session, so I'm not gonna say too much. But like, you, there's something you can do right now that will kill your character outright.
I imagine the statues are not there just to look pretty.
They don't look pretty.
Yeah.
They look too sexy for Milan. I don't know. I'm tired.
That's why he hasn't touched them. If they looked better, he'd be like, "Oh, what's up with this?" Ugh.
I was expecting
fucking
Jeff to be like,
doll.
finally, some service around here, because they're like at attention, waiting for like whatever.
Yeah, but they're not crafted well. I'm sure they're cracked. And
They're
they
all
look
jokes aside,
utilitarian. Not
they're sure. What do you want them to be like? Steampunk machinations that are perfectly grafted and slick and futuristic. I did that in the first campaign with Blinsky. The party made him a like full-on artificer, where things happen for like, spoilers. If things happen, they made him like head of security, and he crafted like Dishonored level, like, the game Dishonored, like that level of machinations to patrol the city. And I'm like, we're just playing like steampunk now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good time. But this was a really good session. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for taking the hook.
Yeah.
I know we're kind of dragging through Vallaki, but honestly, there's so much to discover in Barovia. And also, I wanted to give something for Nadia, something for Jeb, and, well, I mean, Micah wasn't here, but something for him as well. I kind of want to, instead of doing, like, one arc at a time, I want to, like, get everybody out. Also, hooks regarding Rictavio. That's always fun. Or whomever.
I'm super into. Like, Jeb is gonna bite every hook ever that makes sense.
Except
which is
opening
most
the
of them.
door to the... I don't know why you're being so gracious about it, but that's fine.
No, like, he wants to. He's trying to do things in Barovia. He's realizing being a scared turtle is getting him nowhere.
No, that's good. You guys didn't turn all the session. That was good. It's kind of whack how it's completely legal for Samson to be like, well, I know the door is closed, but there's a window and I can see inside, therefore I rummage through everything. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I'm there, but I'm not there. I gave up a stone that lets me go through walls, but I'll use Mage Hand instead. Like,
Mage Hand is more fun. Invisible Mage Hand.
You can
the
go
stone
through walls.
was fun. Realm of
I
Ghosts. Imagine
wanna get
Barovia's
that
map, but there's 2
stone back.
maps now.
I want that stone back.
You can steal
Take
it,
it.
but it sounds dicey.
Everything in Barovia sounds dicey. You're dying from the inside from a cancer that's eating you right now.
That's true.
You're like, cough, look into my hand. It's nothing.
Yeah, everything is
Just my
fine.
insides.
Jeb's
Yeah.
unreasonably confident because not having metal armor made him more able to dodge, and he thinks he's safe in the building.
That's probably the best use of a rogue trait I've ever seen. Not gonna lie, like the fact that you like, I don't take damage from this like lethal trap, essentially. Because 40-10 is crazy. Like 40-10 can be like, yeah, it's 16, or it's like it's 40. Like,
Yeah, max
I'm down.
That could kill him in one. That could theoretically kill him.
there's worse
Not
things.
kill him, but like knock him out.
And the extra problem right now is that where Jeb is, if he goes down, we can't help you. Because I can't see you.
Stay sit.
You
put,
can.
okay.
You will just be taking damage or taking a risk. Nothing's stopping you from venturing the tower. You can cast Twilight and fly. whatnot through the gap. It's just that, like, you're not gonna outsmart a fucking tower. It knows its edifice. Touch it or enter it without solving the puzzle first. It's like, trap goes off. Trap goes off too many times. Something terrible happens, but we'll see. Next session. Meanwhile, Chris is just there like, look at them, just the collecting damage. Peasants don't know Draconic. Fucking NA education.
I learned Infernal and Celestial, thank you very much. Draconic is for the poor riches.
Draconic's literally hoard treasure, and you're like, oh, pause. Yeah.
Do you think it would be kind of safe to say that like giants were like the first ones to kind of like wield like the harness like powers of the storm? Since they're
I
kinda,
would say
like,
that
tied to
they're
it.
one of the first ones. The first ones who wielded it were gods.
Right, I meant like like lower.
But I
Below
think
gods.
in 5e lore, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the most ancient things are like outer worlds, and then you had giants and dragons before humanity and elven
Yeah.
kind and whatnot. So it's fair to say they're one of the first ones. And are there giants in Stormking's Standard? I mean, Curse of Strahd? Yes. But I mean, that's why I said there's multiple places for you to charge the item. I just don't want to be. I don't want to give you free spells, because if we were like, you don't take damage, or like you have damage over time, but you don't affect. That's free spells, and that breaks other characters, like breaks your other party mates, and makes you like nothing matters. The whole point of the item is like, I suffer through this item. I take half the damage, but I act as a conduit for this holy relic of whatever is symbolic to my god.
Right.
One
No,
or
I
another.
like that.
It's kind of like
By the way-
so many shows use fire magic for something like where like you're killing yourself slowly by using destructive magic. I want to go with the same vibe kind of thing.
Cast
By the
Shock
way-
and Grasp on yourself, deal 10 damage, then absorb the rest.
I was gonna tell you like take the damage
I'd
and
be
I heal you.
Yeah, you could. You're just wasting party resources and you're facing a dragon, but you could.
Yeah.
Why are puzzles so hard for people?
It ultimately it has to do, I think, with information that's presented.
I guess. Yeah, you're true. Nobody knows Draconic. It's a little bit harder. And I know a fucking stupid where I was like, his name is Power, and I'm like, I just uttered his name. Solve a puzzle for you. There's many alternatives to puzzles. The puzzle of the tower. If you play this in person, it's a dance, but like you can't dance on Roll20. It doesn't work. So.
Dance?
Yeah, it's like this symbol. Okay, so here's what you're presented. You have a circle, and there's a bunch of like stickmen around the circle in different poses, you know, whatever. Standing arms, whatnot. And then in the center of the circle is a line that kind of bounces around the circle. And anybody with half a brain will realize they're like, oh, you know, just do the positions in the order that the line hits them at, right? And you can pass. Around the table, maybe that's funny, maybe that's clever. On Roll20, I find it doesn't work. I didn't do it in my first run, I'm not going to do it in my second run. I'm going to do a dragon clever riddle breath.
Yeah, things moving in quick succession in Roll20 doesn't work all that well. As we try to figure out what's happening, you probably like it's hard to like stipulate what's happening as
Only made
continue to
worse by
happen.
you splitting the party, but yes.
Yeah.
But I hope we could have fun. I did, so
I have.
I had a lot of fun.
we
I
have.
get to
Yeah, it was
pop and
fun.
shoot out of the I get to pop and shoot out of the tower and use it as cover.
I hope you don't die from
I need to read
starvation.
what happens when you're inside the tower while the trap is still active, because that's like it breaks the flow of the module. Like it doesn't expect like anybody to be like, "Oh, I go up the scaffolding and then I fall to the first floor." I don't know why it doesn't expect that. That's completely valid, especially if you're a light character. But
That's like the first thing you do as soon as you bang your head against the puzzle too much.
no,
It's like,
always
I
solve
don't
the
know how to
puzzle
solve this. Because, yeah, my thing, if Jeb hadn't started going up that, I was going to kick off the Twilight Sanctuary steps of the night and fly on up, assuming
figured-
that my channel divinities work within the anti-magic field.
I just figured it was great. It was as simple as
I wanna
opening the
say
door from the other side.
they-
Right, because Twilight Sanctuary is a channel divinity, but Steps of Night is not. It's a class ability. I don't know if it's magical.
any magical effect not just spells. Any magical effect.
Yeah.
Dots, magical items, magic whatever. So like
Yeah. So you magically give yourself a flying speed, so Steps of Night will fail inside of that.
anything. The weave is broken in this place. Why? You can ponder. But
Who knows? We'll figure
literally,
out.
the weave flows
Hopefully.
throughout the entire world, and here it's just not tethered. It just falls away.
We'll figure out why in a bit.
Yeah.
Once we've survived a dragon.
Yeah, I'm doing the math to survive the dragon at the moment.
Don't look
Oh
up the
yeah,
dragons.
surviving the dragon is gonna.
Don't do the math. I'm using a custom dragon. There's no point in doing the math.
Yeah.
So maybe I misheard earlier.
Mhm.
When I used the reaction, what was the other option you gave me to do?
So what we said is, if you have to damage, it's not enough to give you 10 damage to give one charge. So what we have going on is I use a reaction to not take to take half damage, which is you're not a rogue, you can't do that. Not what the magic item says it does. What I said is we can change the magic item to say that it doesn't have damage. It doesn't give you resistance. It makes you take the full damage, but it
Okay.
counts that full damage to gain charges. So you sacrifice taking more damage for more charges.
And then would there be like a scale limit? Like, like however
80
much damage?
Survivability for you, sorcerer. Like, it's 8 charges maximum, 80 damage maximum you can absorb. I don't think you'll ever have more than 80 health in this campaign.
No, but I'm saying if I lose the reaction to absorb or to negate half the
you can
damage,
use
and
an
instead
action
I
instead.
take it.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna just say I just instead take the damage, but I get more charges. I thought that's what you were saying.
I think we should just stick to one. We should just stick to, for simplicity's sake, because 5e is about simplicity. Otherwise, we're gonna be lost in rules.
Yeah.
Wait, so what you're saying is I don't have a reaction to use this item, can I take the full damage and it's passively absorbing the charges? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I was gonna say like, oh, well, instead of negating half the damage, instead I use the reaction to. No, hold on. I thought you had said earlier like, yeah, forgo that. You just take all the damage, but you gain more charges, so you could use
That's what
it
I
more.
said, yeah.
But then how do you? So if I take, it still has to be that ratio then, right?
Of 10
For
damage
10.
for one charge.
Okay.
Correct. That doesn't change.
Okay.
That's part of the item you showed me. That's part of the original homebrew, the unbalanced homebrew, and I kept that because I was like,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
fun.
yeah. No, I'm all on board with that.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we won't be able to use it ever because
Why?
we're gonna die. No, joking.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I'm
the
thinking
worst
of how
part
I'm gonna
is
balance that out,
the
too.
worst part is what happens to magic items when they turn mundane, in terms of their prior indestructible property.
What do you mean?
They
Well,
lose
a
it.
magic item cannot be destroyed by anything except for like a Tarask
Wish.
saliva and like a orb of oblivion or some shit.
Yeah.
Right? I
So
don't-
if she like drops it while it's mundane, it might break.
yeah.
Oof.
Or if you like get it struck by lightning while it's mundane, what happens to glass when it's just mundane orb?
But how does it get mundane?
By entering an
Wait,
anti-magic zone.
anti-magic field.
Oh.
If you're curious about a spell, it's anti-magic field. At this point,
Gotcha.
you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
Arcana
yeah.
checks, we can tell. I'm not gonna make you guys a rule too often because honestly, you guys are not doing much that can fail. I think anybody living in a D&D world absorbing a spell long enough will be able to be like, okay, yeah, here's the effect, I can deduce this much. Anti-magic.
Best way to survive an anti-magic field: have nothing magical.
True.
Yeah. That is a very reasonable way of surviving them. That is why the way you defeat beholders is you group together and you charge them with the marshal. You get the marshals to charge them and take them out, because their anti-magic cone doesn't protect them against marshals.
I don't know your sheet, so it was literally like in my head going through like your magic items. Like I don't know what you're wearing, but like I know you're wearing a mask.
Yeah, the staff and the cloak.
I didn't want to go through like the whole the can of worms that is if you have a bag of holding, yeah, or like your vessel,
Oh no!
and it stops being magical. Does it just like spew everything out?
I thought you would lose them because they're stuck in whatever void they're in, right?
But it does. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's a toggle. You step in, and you step out. If you step out, it's magical again.
Oh, because
I'm not wiping away your magic items. It's an anti-magic field.
I'm trying to remember. Is the Beholder's Cone that just suppresses it, and the anti-magic field actually kills a spell that you're concentrating
They
on?
both suppress.
Or
You cannot kill magic.
They both suppress.
You cannot make a
Okay.
magic item permanently unmagical unless it's.
Oh no, I'm referring to a spell that's running.
Spell that's running.
So if I
magic
cast-
field, you're talking about the same thing. The beholder has the exact same spell.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
a cone
that
of anti-magic. It's the same thing. It suppresses it. It's kind of like a. Nah, that's not fair. I was gonna say like a silent spell, but that's not fair. It's literally just everything becomes mundane. Spell effects drop, magic items drop, magic effects on you drop. If you're invisible to magic, you become visible. If you're a magical being, you vanish. If you're familiar, you vanish. If you are summoned here by a ritual, you go back to your plane. Not the magic field. If you are under an active condition that has a timer, it is suppressed while you're inside it. As soon as you step up, it comes back on. It does not dispel magic. It suppresses it.
Right. That was what I was getting at. Was it suppresses it? So I would almost say with your bag of holding case, it suppresses the
You
connection.
just can't use it, I would
and then
just
as
say.
soon as it's back, it's all sitting there.
The
You
bag
just
of holding is
you
almost like
can't
a
reach.
portal to the dimension. The
Exactly.
dimension doesn't cease being. If you ever like destroy the
the
bag, you
connection
might
to the
lose
portal.
it. Yeah. I'm not even sure
Yeah, the
why
connection to the portal.
why when you destroy a bag of holding, why does it like spew those things out? I think that's just like to be nice to players, like, oh, you don't lose other things. I think it's actually radical to be like, oh shit, the fucking dragon
We just
ate
lost
our bag
everything.
of holding. We need to go to the fucking astral plane to get our
Astral
shit back.
plane. Yeah, that's only if you do the what is it, bag of holding into portable hole or vice versa. That's still a thing in 5e, right?
Any extra dimensional into any extra dimensional equals
Okay.
astral plane.
Yes.
So like even like the haversack one, even like all the lesser ones, if you decide to put one in front of the other.
Yeah.
Can you cast? So you have a portable hole. Can you cast a portal into the portable hole? Like gate.
Yes, but then it would astral plane.
Will it? Is that actually rules, or are we just guessing?
It's extra dimensional plus extra dimensional, right? So it depends. It's a DM call. Like it depends how mean you want to be to your players. Theoretically, like
I'm just gonna I'm gonna say you gate to wherever that hole ends. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna be an asshole about it. I don't even like the fucking dimensional versus dimensional with astral planes because first of all, it's so overplayed. Like some people are like, "Oh yeah, well I put the bag of holding over his head and then I slash it." No, he's decapitated. It's so overplayed. Be original, you know.
Yeah.
And it's more dynamic if you just actually use your spells, and if you chain them together, you
Um,
can use them both. Except, you know.
So reading portable hole, it's placing portable hole in an extra-dimensional space created by a bag of holding or a haversack or similar item instantly destroys both.
Yeah.
So I don't think casting gate would cause, because gate's not an item.
yeah, that's true.
Still a magical effect. There's probably like overlapping rules there somewhere. I don't really care that much.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I was ruling that, I would probably just say, yeah, absolutely, that goes off and triggers. Yes, you're casting a 9th level spell. I'll give you that effect. Sure.
Man, I'm gonna have to write one hell of an intro to be like to catch Mac up. To be like, yeah.
Hi, there's a dragon. Here's what here's what you do. You do the what is it? Come quick, no time to explain.
Grab a cactus.
Yeah, something like that. It's like, hi, no time to explain. We're fighting a dragon. Go.
Yeah, grab a cactus. No time to explain. Yeah.
Kristoff is the exact same sort of spoiled, rich, high intelligence, low wisdom that Jeb is.
Hey.
Don't say his name. Oh shit.
Huh?
No, just because he read the name out and then he realized he probably shouldn't have.
What are we talking about?
When Kristoff read the dragon's name.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
High intelligence, low wisdom. It's the. It makes sense.
That's the DM. That's not Christoph. Christoph wants to help you guys, or I don't know.
Well, no. Well, I'm saying it works better. It works better that way.
Yeah.
Because Jeb's the exact same thing. He knows a lot of things, but doesn't know when and how to apply them.
Sure. Interesting thing. Your circle's turning because you have like what 16 HP there, Nadia. Have you read Ring of Mind Shielding? Have you read all of it?
I think I already have. I mean, I've read it all before, but I'm trying to. Would it apply here?
I think, like, in the
Would
worst
what
case.
apply here? Have you read the last paragraph of that item?
Oh yeah, if I die, yeah, I'm in the ring. Yeah.
Yeah. You're Pickle Rick.
Yeah.
I turn myself into a ring.
I'm in your head.
Your
Wear
backup
me.
can have Nadia in your head.
Well, you can
Just
possess
fucking-
Blossom.
You put on the ring, it's just Nadia's voice like, it's all your fault.
I can't protect shit in the ring. I'm just a spirit in there.
E is gonna take it so she can add you to her menagerie.
The water thingy, maybe it can help you, Nadia. Don't worry.
The just fucking AF feeding the ring to her mount. Here you go.
Eat, baby, eat.
Give me souls. But yeah.
Super fun. I will see you guys next week.
Cool. I won't hold
Yeah.
you.
I do gotta get going too. I gotta get
Mhm.
some foods. I am
Well.
a hungry boy.
I wonder what you guys are going to do with an artifact this early in the campaign. Well, I mean, early, you're halfway through, but like still. It's crazy to me how Strahd is so open-ended and so RNGesus at times that if you do the card reading wrong, in my opinion, you could spawn your magical items at the beginning of the campaign.
Yeah.
You find them in Death House, you find them in the Vistani camp, you find them in the village of Barovia. Like, the priest of the village of Barovia is like wearing it or some shit, and you're like, oh, what's that? And you're like, you're level 3, here's whole vampires.
Sweet.
Yeah, that kind of would trivialize vampire fights. It's almost like, is that how you're
Yes and
supposed
no.
to survive?
Also vampire spawns, too. Not just vampires. What?
Yeah. Is that how you're supposed to survive the Coffin Maker's house? Is that
Mhm.
you're supposed to have gotten the
I
five
suppose to
vampires
measure,
spawn-
yes, that is one way of surviving. There
encounter.
are other ways of surviving. You can totally survive it. It's just... It's just a TPK in most cases. Because
Yeah.
it's just not balanced. I think DMs should run it less like, oh, the party gets attacked, more like, they're starving vampires, they're mad, they're going about town and causing havoc. It's an event now. But, I mean, that's DM between the, like, every DM does their own thing. Yeah. Is Nick already gone?
No, I'm here.
What were you looking for in the bottom of the pond?
In the bottom of the pond?
Yeah, you were asking me about the bottom, like, does look have treasures? I'm like, I feel bad telling you no, because no.
No,
Because-
then no then.
Huh?
No then. I mean, if
Huh?
there's nothing there, there's nothing there. I thought the water weirds might have been like guarding something, or there might have been some like well, we just found a holy relic.
They're
but it's
guarding
like,
the pond. The pond itself is the treasure.
Right. I didn't know if someone had been like, someone in the past, or maybe the abbot or whoever had been like, I'm gonna put
No,
something.
sometimes
deep
the
in there
land
because
just protects the land.
Right. I thought maybe like the water weirds are there, like they're guarding the pond, and that's what they do. But there's also something else that's
What
there
are the
that
blights
maybe
guarding?
No. Yeah.
The tree.
You
Did
were
we ever
looking
get to
for
the tree? No. Are you gonna get to the tree? Are you gonna go back to the tree? Hell yeah, I'm bringing you back to the tree. A is dying.
Yeah, and I have water that I don't know. I want to see if the tree dies with water, magical water.
Oh god. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that.
You gonna
What the hell
kill
was that?
Blossom? You gonna like waterboard her? Like,
That'll be fun. I'm
why
gonna
are
have
they
to
hiding
save
beneath the
level-
tree?
Oh,
Tell me.
That's be interesting.
Yeah.
So I get 1 third level spell against the dragon. This will be fun.
How do you recover spell slots?
Long rest.
Long
No,
rest.
I know, but how did you get the third level spell slot against the dragon? Do you already have it?
Oh, I have 2 third level spell slots because I only used 1 against the abbot,
Cool.
and I haven't cast any more.
Honestly, I don't know what you're crying about. You're pretty fresh, relatively. You barely fought the abbot as is.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like my spell slots are okay. Well, my health is pretty okay, really.
He slapped me with something pretty big, and I lost like 20 something
His
health.
cock.
Yeah, right across my face. Big veiny.
Divine retribution. Oh.
The good thing we got like the sanctuary back during the trip. If not, we will be like in big problems.
What, the shrine?
Samsung.
Pilot Sanctuary.
Oh.
Pilot Sanctuary recovers on a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, channel divinities are stupid like that.
I mean,
Yep.
true. I mean, it's part of your class. Rogues dodge damage. You have Divine Sanctuary. Just milk those levels while they last.
Okay, I think I have a way to control the dragon a little bit.
I will say, dragons aren't beasts.
No,
I
I
was
was
it's
gonna
dragons.
say if I got it,
no,
yeah. I get dominate.
Giants
beasts
aren't
as a
humanoids. Like, yes.
Yeah. I was thinking because I get dominate beast from the Book of Zadoon is a potential spell I could have prepared for 4th level, but that would be a long rest.
You
to forget.
fucking wish.
Yeah,
you
but I
wish
don't
to have a
work against
dragon.
dragons. No, that's Novark.
Strahd just shows up, power kills it. Like, no. Bad.
No.
Cheating in my own
No
game.
dragon. Yeah.
What can
And
I
well-
command the dragon to do?
yeah, I was thinking that. Drown. Do they breathe underwater?
Fuck around and find out.
No, but the problem is command lasts
6
6
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah, it's
It's a
one.
Do it
little hard to
quickly.
drown.
Inhale
Quickly.
water.
Quicker! Next, it does it his turn, then it comes back to me again. I'm like, quicker!
Yeah.
But we also have like
I
dominate
got a
mind.
couple.
No, your spell that gives nightmares. Samsung. I forgot the name.
The wonderfulness that is phantasmal force.
Yeah.
There's gonna be consequences to using Shadoon spells. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, I'm fully aware of that.
Yeah. Every day, Samson strays further away from God.
Yeah, Phantasmal Force is not from the cleric, it's from the book.
Oh god, no.
I love it. I love it
No.
how.
Clerics don't get phantasmal
I love
force.
how the cleric of the party finds a book like a big no. This should not be in this city book. Like it's a cold book. It's like this belongs in like a
Yes.
this belongs in Waterdeep's dungeons. It belongs in Candlekeep's like secure
And is just
sectors.
using it.
And you're like, but perhaps like
But maybe.
nobody
I
should
mainly
possess
pick-
such power. But perhaps.
Yes.
That's how it starts.
I
guys.
mean, I'm already tied to Zadoon. Might as well get my money's worth.
Action speaks louder than
True.
tattoos. Oh yeah.
So yeah, dragon.
In before
I'm going
Kristoff
to
becomes
wait for-
Jeb's dad. The only person who gives him approval.
Now that I think so, like, is Cristavio, Rictavio, is the fucking dragon now? I'm wondering that.
Is Rictavio a dragon?
Yes, they have true polymorph or polymorph,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
you cracked it.
Yep. It'll be fun.
Fuck.
Fine.
A dragon wants to
Fine.
go to Death House and fetch him trinkets from Death House. More
I
for my
gotta-
hoard. You cracked the code.
I gotta change my spells back because I accidentally took the ones that I leveled up with.
It's fine. Just don't have them
No,
like,
I'll
with a red
switch 'em.
dot.
I will
If
make.
you guys
the
want to
switch.
use new spells, we can just waive the rule if you really want to. I don't.
No, I mean it doesn't make Sounds
I'm using
like a
dragons. I
great
don't care
idea.
if you have like extra spells.
Bring at me, bro. Come at me. Sorry.
I know Dragonhide provides magic resistance. Makes me wonder if they have magic resistance.
Oh shit.
So that's why I don't care.
I'm going to bite him.
Okay, I think we
He
can.
becomes a
we can go
vampire.
against
What
him.
have you done? You do know I'm making them roll Constitution saving throws every time, right?
What?
Every time you bite somebody.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't.
You're lucky you buried. Not buried. You burnt to dead.
I bit a Wendigo and I bit a wolf.
And you bit druids, didn't you?
I think so. Like
Oh,
in the
Maybe? I think
meal, he
so.
may have.
I don't think you bit Druids. I would have done something like that.
Oh.
Not in the Wizards of the Wine, no. I remember I exploded one with a chromatic orb.
Oh no, it was I think you attacked one of the werewolves with that bird, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
No, not the werewolves. We cleaned them
No?
up like really quickly. I think I've only used it twice.
Yeah, you haven't.
Oh.
Each of you like is only now beginning to like really lean into your characters. But I mean, again, it's like play how you want, right? It's not just because I'm a
Yeah.
vampire doesn't mean I have to make it my entire personality, sort of thing. You guys have any questions for me before I depart and actually eat something?
No.
I don't think so.
Not
no.
really. No.
If anything comes up, like you're like, huh, actually, like didn't really explain this good during session or some shit. Also, this is why I was like, when you guys were discussing about Tom Strahd, as much as I allow you guys exploring it, I was like, just wait and see what happens first, because I don't know if we'll get there this session.
Yeah, I was confused. I thought we long rested because I for some reason forgot that we fought the abbot in the morning and we
In
just
the
went back down
dawn.
the hill.
Right.
And that's why I was like, oh yeah, I think it's night, and so maybe we should explore it before going to sleep. But no, that's cool.
An
Yeah.
hour, 9.
No, it's cool.
It's like 10 bells right now. Just tracking time.
But I am excited.
Cool. I'm excited for Novark. Hopefully he'll bite the hook I'm throwing at him. Dragon Warden is a fun subclass if you play it right.
Sounds fun.
I hear what you're asking. What are dragons doing, bro? Yeah. We'll see.
We shall see.
Kill the adventurers. Easy.
Are you loyal to Strahd?
Do we have more nukes?
What did you ask me, Ivan?
I know that if we have nukes, like the ones that Novak used in the cave against the werewolf.
No, somebody bought all of them.
Yeah. I get this strange feeling that there's going to be an explosion in Valakai at some point in the near future.
Yeah, proves that. Okay.
Yay, terrorism.
Change of power. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, we don't need a church. Blow it up. Alright.
I think this should be it. Oh yeah, and he's
Well-
got a pistol now too.
Mac.
Yeah.